Okay, where's my people? Hey Janice, you can hear me, correct? Oh my gosh, who are these people? Okay, sorry about earlier. I was actually trying to try out StreamYard, and yeah. Let me see, make sure I can read my comments. Who is Dixon Cider? DD Mega Doo Doo. Who is Dixon Cider? He showed you my channel and you subscribed. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Parker, get down. So Janice, you wanted to know earlier what was I drinking? At that time, I wasn't drinking anything. Well, I was drinking, but at the time, I didn't have nothing in my cup. So I am drinking some blush wine, Sunset Blush. Very mild, kind of along the lines of kind of a white Zinfandel, but maybe not as much of a kick as a white Zinfandel. Hey, Martina. This other person, I don't know what your name is. Is it Izzy Preppy? Something Preppy? Hi. So I apologize about earlier. I was trying to do StreamYard because I wanted to have my sister as my guest tonight. But I figured out what I was doing wrong. It was me. When I unplugged, when I turned everything off, I realized that I still had my earbuds in. So that's probably why you guys couldn't hear me, because it was supposed to be going to the phone audio, but I had the earbuds in, so it did not go. So I'm going to try this again tomorrow with her and see if we can get it, because then that way I can have my sisters come in, and then you guys, if you want to, come in and chit chat. If y'all want to come on, come up and have a talk and show yourself. Well, you ain't got to show yourself. You can use a avatar or whatever. I just got to figure out how to pin it in the chat now. Yeah. Who is that sending up hearts? Thank you, thank you. So yeah, that was the issue, and really we were not supposed to be live. Yeah, Paulie, I am not Miss Tech savvy. I was surprised I figured out how to be able to invite her and do StreamYard on my phone, because I haven't did it. I did it on my on my desktop, but I never actually used it. So yes, I'm gonna try it again tomorrow and see. So it was probably me, and then I gotta figure out how I can pin the link into the chat, and then that way if you guys want to come up, because I think that'll be even more fun, that I can be able to see some of you guys or your avatar, and you can talk versus doing all that typing. So yeah, I'm gonna do a trial run tomorrow. But I was just trying to figure out, I had no idea that I did it private, but then I did it public, but I didn't think I was hooked up to YouTube, because at the time I couldn't see it on my TV. So I thought it was just me and her. And so I had on my jammies. She didn't want to show herself because she had on her bonnet. So yeah, y'all know me. I'll be messing up stuff. I'll be messing it up. So what's new, Parker Posse? I know, I have not been on here, but first I wasn't feeling well. I don't know, I think I had a sinus infection. I don't know, I might have had COVID, because I had a massive headache starting, actually, it was about almost 2 weeks. Is that Shay? Hello? How are you? Yeah, it started about, I know it was a week and a half, and I never get headaches, so I had a tension headache that was thumping. Oh, this is why I don't come on early, guys. I really don't, because you get all kinds of interference, and so that's why I don't, but it's fairly early, and y'all know I'll probably toe up by 9, so this will probably be through by 10. So, yeah, that's what my sister was telling me, because it was like thump in here, and I don't get a tension headache, and it started Tuesday before last, and it went all the way through the weekend. It didn't stop till, I had it for about a week, till about this Tuesday or Wednesday, and my stomach was all upset. I was not feeling well whatsoever. So literally, I would get off work and I was going to bed. What are you talking about, Martina? I think we only got the second part, because the only thing I see is, at the second house, the wife threw herself on her 20-year-old daughter. They had surgery, and they're hoping they make it. Oh, you're talking about the two representatives that got shot this morning. Yeah, I was going to kind of roll myself into all of that. I've calmed down some. I'm not all the way up here. I'm about right here now. But this week has been crazy in the United States. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I don't know if I'm just still feeling a little sluggish or whatever, because I really hadn't been walking or doing all that. Parker, don't you start that barking. And so, here we go. So this morning I slept till about 9, which is unusual for me, because I'm normally up about 4, because I usually can start work at 4. But I came downstairs and I turned on TV, and the first thing I saw was that 4 people had been shot, and that they were, government officials in Minnesota. No, Minneapolis, Minneapolis. I want to say, one of those M cities or states. But one husband and wife were shot and were taken to the hospital, and the other husband and wife were killed. And so they didn't say, they said their names, Hoffman and Hortman, but I had never heard of them, so I did not know, I think they were local. They were in local government. I don't think they were in the House of Representatives or the Senate, I want to say they were local government. And so, but I do know that they were in the same state that, and help me out, Martin, the guy that ran with Kamala as her vice president, they were in his state. I am Rita. I'm not going to try to say the last name, but hi. So they didn't say whether they were Republican or Democrat, because with everything going on, I thought maybe they were Republicans, but no, they were Democrats. So if you haven't heard, it was horrid. I mean, I don't know what is happening to us. There is a guy going around dressed up like a police officer. He even went to the point of getting the SUV that looked like the police officers' SUVs in that city, put the blue lights in, had the whole uniform on, and went to their house. Oh, yeah, and went to their house at 2:30. Waltz, there you go, Governor Waltz State. And they were Democrats. Oh, the shooter was Republican. And so, yeah, I've already put that person out. I don't have the energy to argue with trolls tonight. I really don't. So, anyway, the guy dressed up like a police officer went to the first house, which would have been the female that was in government. No. I don't know. He went to both houses. Went to one house, shot the husband and the wife. And when the police got there, I don't know who called, but the police, I'm assuming one of them, I'm not sure, but they were able to get there and they were able to give them assistance until the ambulance came. And it was just a sharp police officer. So whoever that police officer was, they didn't give their name, but kudos to you. Because when they got to the first house and they realized that it was a government representative and all that, they sent out a well check to the other representative that lived in the district. And so when the police got there, now this was crazy. When the police got there, they seen a police officer standing at the door. So they thought that they had gotten the call maybe first. But when they got out to go towards the house, the police officer started shooting at them. Hey, sis. And that's when they realized it was not a police officer. And so they shot back. The person ran back into the house, but they went out the back door. But they were able to confiscate or take the vehicle that the person was in, so they were on foot. Last time I checked, they hadn't caught them. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything? Have they caught the person yet? Hi, Charles. Oh, you know what? I guess people that be here early don't have shit else to do but get in other people's chats and troll. When I come on later, I don't have all this. And when I do my desktop, I don't have it at all. But, yeah. I mean, horrid. 2 people dead. 2 people has to have surgery in the hospital. They're hoping that they make it. And all behind politics? And see, this is the thing. This rhetoric that these people are spewing out here, you got people who are mentally unstable. Can I say that again? Yeah, he had a list of other government officials that he wanted to take out. Yeah, he did. He just didn't have the opportunity. Hopefully he hasn't had the opportunity, but him being on foot. I know they were looking for him, so I hope they have found them. Like I said, I haven't heard whether or not they have found them yet. But that is so crazy to me. But when you put out evilness, and that's what I call it, it's just pure evil. For you to sit out there and just talk about one select, I mean, just really, Democrats and Republicans. I mean, what is our country going to? First, we got the Caucasians against the African Americans. We got the Caucasians against the Hispanics. We got the Caucasians against the Asians. I mean, we got the Republicans against the Democrats. I'm going to say this, and I was talking to my sister earlier, because who else watched any of the No Kings protests today? Okay, so they still have not found that person. I hope they find him today. I'm praying that right now, put it in the atmosphere that he gets found today. But me and my sister are watching the No Kings protest today all around the United States. And, you know, I was hearing people talk about the fact that as African Americans and African American women, they were not going to protest because they didn't vote for Trump. Okay, let me say this. I'm an African American woman, and I did not vote for Trump. I knew he was an ass. I knew he had issues, very deep-seated issues. But at this point where we're at in the United States, race should have nothing to do with it. We are all Americans, okay? And we've got to stick together if we're going to get through this situation that we're in. It doesn't matter. We can't go back to November and change who got voted in. It's a done deal. He's in office. He's the president. All we can do at this point is stick together as Americans, and race and gender and religion and what political affiliation you have, none of that should matter. We've got to come together and be one if we're going to be successful in getting through this. Because as you can see, the people that we voted for to represent us in the House and the Senate are not doing their job. Oh, Danny, that is, thank you. And it don't matter if you're lesbian or not. Hey, me and 13, hi. We've all got to stick together. It is them against us now. You do realize that just because they sent ICE in for brown people, and they sent they sent the Guard and the Marines in California, do you think they won't do that to any of us? I mean, this is ridiculous. Who's them? The government. The people in charge right now. That's who the them is. And if you don't like it, I don't even know how to pronounce your name, you can say goodbye. Bye-bye. Hi, Recessionista. I mean, if you did not realize what type of person he was, I hope you've realized now that, and I don't even, he may be racist, he may be, but I'm going to tell you like this. That man's bottom line is money and power. If you could be green, if you got money and power, then he'll deal with you. It's about money and power. The little people, he could care less about anybody underneath Elon Musk, and that would be all of us. You know what? Martina and Recessionista, I'm going to need y'all to get on your free job, your non-paying job. Did y'all get rid of Pearl Moy 12? Thank you. Yeah, tonight, and guys who are my moderators, I'm not dealing with no bullshit when it comes to this whole thing about the Trump stuff. I'm not. If somebody is in the chat and they want to be disrespectful and say something about brown people, black people, lesbians, gay men, whatever, anybody that the regime has decided are not worthy, out they go. Kick their ass out. Thank you, Martina. Whack their ass tonight. That's what we're going to call it. Whack their ass tonight. Because I'm tired of the bullshit. We've all got to stick together. I mean, It doesn't matter. I don't get it. I don't care who you love. I don't care how you dress. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your gender is. People, we have got to be one. Because this man is going to treat us all like shit. Nobody liked it when I put the thing out there about martial law. But look what happened. What, 2 weeks later? Here we got pretty much martial law in California. Thank you, Danny. Put J1 out. Because my thing is this. Nobody should be discriminated against in the United States. First of all, we stole the country from somebody else. And I heard a lady saying that today. She was like, I love everybody. I want peace. And she respects everybody. She wants everybody to be able to have the same rights and privileges. She's like, because I'm here on stolen land. And she said, I hope everybody know that America wasn't a lost country. It didn't need to be discovered. It was already here with people on it. That's right. We're going to whack their ass tonight. Because my thing is this. That is the only way America is going to stand and last. And it's funny that it's taken this individual to be in office for us to end up having to come to be as one. Because there's more of us that want to bind together and, push this person out of office versus those who are backing him. Yeah. It was not uninhabited. There were people here. And then this is the thing is, this is how much they lie. You're going to tell the story that it was pretty much an uninhabited country with no people here. But the people that was here, on the other hand, you're going to tell the story about the Indians and the Pilgrims and how the Indians came over and showed them how to cook corn and make like popcorn and stuff. Well, if there was nobody here, who came over to teach you how to make corn? Yeah. So, what did y'all think about the senator out of California? Is it Padilla? I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Padilla? That got pushed out, shoved down, and handcuffed. And even though he wasn't arrested. Okay, but you shoved the man down, handcuffed him, and he was clearly saying that he was a senator. He clearly had on a shirt that represented that he was a senator. And then he had gotten escorted to the briefing by FBI and the National Guard because he was there to meet somebody else. But once he heard that she was there talking, he had been trying to contact her for months, and there was no response from her office. So here he was sitting in the back. He was like, okay, I'll go over to the news briefing. He's sitting in the back, and he said he kept hearing her lie so much, that's why he had a question. And they acted like that. And she never stopped talking. Yeah, you're right, Martina. Padilla. Yes, that's another thing, recessionista. So my thing is, and then this is what I heard. I watched this guy, his last name is Wolf. Oh, I cannot think of his first name, but he worked in Trump's cabinet the first time, and he got fired. Him and Trump had some words about something, but he's wrote a couple of books. But he was saying that because he still has inroads with people up in D.C., Trump called around trying to find out exactly what happened that day. And so he was talking to some people, and his thing was nobody knew who the senator was, and he looked like an immigrant. So because he was brown, it was okay to slam him down on the ground and handcuff him because he looked like an immigrant. But I'm sorry, Your dumbass, I forget what role she plays, Miss Gnome. They call her the cosplay Barbie doll because she liked to dress up. I was through with her when I seen the picture of her with the prisoners behind her lined up, and she was talking about this is where you're gonna go, you know, if you're immigrants in the United States and all this. But the woman never stopped talking. She never stopped. Most people would have said, "Oh, hey, what what's going on over there? If you have a question, can you wait till the end of my briefing?" Or hey guys, let them stand there till the end of my briefing, and I'll answer the question. But how the hell do you go to the state of California? You don't inform the governor, the mayor, the police, or nobody that you're there. And how is it that you're a senator, play senator, and you don't know who the other senators are? How do you go to a state and you don't even know who the other senator is in the state? That is just crazy to me. Yes, they are recessionista. Thank you. Recessionista, his color is green money and power. That's the only reason why he was friends with Elon, because his ass was crazy as hell. I was hoping they keep fighting. I hope they keep fighting, because I love when they get on social media with their little spats and let everybody else know what the hell is going on with their foolishness. Both of them got daddy issues. Both of them got some stuff going on. And I was hoping Elon was going to keep on talking. Because if he thinks that Trump has forgiven him, me and my sister were talking about that today. Trump is a Gemini and Elon is a Cancer. And we got a Gemini mama and a Cancer sister. So we can tell you right now, that fight ain't over with. By a long shot. I'm hoping the girls are going to fight again. Oh, is he? I hadn't, it's been so much going on, I ain't even had a chance to get back to that. Because Trump is, he was biting at the bit to be able to arrest some people today. But I'm very happy to say that they had protests from one end of the United States to the next, from the top to the bottom, and they did it from 12 to 4. And they decided not to go to D.C. to give Trump the opportunity to try to arrest anybody. And there were thousands of people that came out. So I'm very happy that the protest went on. Because I thought about going, because we had one here, and I was thinking about, girl, I'm going to have to try to come early so I can get a good parking space so I ain't got to walk far. And then I'm going to need a place to go to the bathroom. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to have to support them from here. And I got to that age where I'm going to have to support them from the couch. There were some veterans that about 65 of them got arrested yesterday because they ran past the barriers and they went and protested on the steps of the Capitol. And they were handcuffing and slamming people down who were on canes and in wheelchairs. I was like, I'm so through with them. Yes, yes, yes. But I am hoping that, because most of the, I think all the protesters were from 12 to 4. So they were dispersing at 4. So I'm hoping that the bullshit that they're going to try to say, if people are out tonight and doing stuff, they can't say it's the protesters. That's just people out doing stuff. Because, California still got their 8 o'clock curfew. Yeah, I was like, they were slamming down veterans like it didn't mean nothing. Me and my sister was watching Don Lemon today, and there's a guy, he calls himself Jolly Ginger. If you want to try a new YouTuber, he's a white guy out of I want to say it's North Carolina, but he was raised to be a racist and all this stuff, and he said as he was growing up, he just couldn't get with the program, and he went against, the people that was his family, friends, neighbors, and all that, because in that community, that's what people were. And so he has a whole YouTube page where he's talking from the viewpoint of a white guy who was raised that way, who rejected that foolish talk. And so he was in D.C., and he's a veteran too. And so he was the one showing the veterans getting arrested. And today he was in D.C., where there were people that did go and protest outside of where they were having the parade at. And there was this lady, I swear, I told my sister, somebody paid her. Because there's no way a woman, and I think they said her son was with her, but he wasn't that old. That this grown woman came into the midst of all these people who were out here protesting no kings, and she came with a sign, a big old banner, talking about Trump. And so when he stopped her, he was like, so what brings you out? And she was like, I'm here to support the army. Because, she said, I'm here for the parade. And he's like, oh, she's like, I'm here to support the army. He was like, well, if you're here to support the army, how come you got a banner that says Trump? And she went into her whole Trump spiel. I love the president, he's this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. So she got into a little disagreement with Jolly Ginger, and then he walked on off. Well, there was a lot of veterans out there, and so she pulls out another flag. But this one was, and I hope most of you know this, but you know the black flag that they have for MIA and POV military, missing in action, prisoners of war flags, POW, POW. Lord, I can mess up something. MIA, POW, missing in action, prisoners of war. And then they have the circle, and they have a picture of a military person, but just like a silhouette of one is blacked out. She had that, and in the middle she had the picture of, well, she didn't have pictures, she said the January 6th, or what is it that they're calling the people that stormed the White House? Is it the January 6ers or something like that? She had that in the middle saying that the people that stormed the White House on January 6th were treated as bad as prisoners of war and people who are missing in action from being in war. And I was just like, oh my God. So one of the veterans that Jolly had been talking to, oh my God, he went livid. He was up in her face. I thought he was about to stomp her butt. And so they had people that, I guess they had safety people out there to help people. And so they tried to get in between, and then they called the park police or whatever. And they came and escorted her and her son out because she was about to get her butt stomped. They was about to stomp her a new butthole. Yes, she was about to get beat to the white meat. And I was going to sit right here and watch it because I'm like, you about a dumbass to come in a group of all them people saying that stuff. But then I was like, she seemed like she was planted. She went with no other group. There were no other Trumpers out there. It was just her and her son. Why would you do that? Knowing that you was going to antagonize the people that were out there. I feel like she was a plant. They wanted somebody to do something to her so they could get something on camera saying that, you had the protesters beating up some Karen. But I hate that we have gotten to this point. Well, first of all, we don't train horses to trample on people. Did y'all see the video where the police on horse was trampling over that man? It was about 4 or 5 of them, and they had the horses just stomping all over him. I don't... You know what? I have done some things in my life, and I have not always been a nice person, and I have said some things to people that I should not have said, and I've acted towards people in ways that I probably should not have acted. I've never put my hands on somebody like that, but I don't understand the evil that has to be in your heart that you could be a person up on a horse, and this is my job to police the people, and I can literally watch and direct my horse trample on another human being and feel that it's okay. Just like when I watch where, I put it on my page, where the people pellet the woman in her stomach and she was trying to go home. The reporter, the guy just got mad because he kept saying, what's your name and what's your badge number? Well, that's one thing that they're saying. Maybe that situation wouldn't have happened with those representatives, but now we have police officers and Homeland Security and FBI And all these people running around and they wearing covers on their face. They don't want to put their name out. They don't want to wear anything showing what office they're from. How are we supposed to know if you're really the police? How are we supposed to know who the hell you are? I don't understand what kind of evil has to be inside you, because even if you were raised in a household where they told you that anybody that was outside your color, whether you was raised in an African American household and they told you white people was all crazy and scary, or you was raised in a white household and they said the same thing, or Hispanic, or a Himalayan, or an Asian, or an Alaskan, or whatever, you get to be able to grow up and inform your own ideas. How many of us are really carrying all the things that our parents put in us when we were kids? But Harold, the man was on the ground, crossed over like this, and they had guiding their horses to stump on top of the man, and it was 4 or 5 of them. And then they took the billy club and reached down and beat him a couple of times. I'm not blaming the animals. The animal is being guided by the person. My thing is this. My parents told me a whole lot of stuff that I didn't follow. Why is it something like racism and hatred and anger and all these things? You mean to tell me that as an adult person you can't get past that? I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can look at another human being and make a decision that you don't like them because they look different from you. That is supposed to be the beautiful part about America. They call it the melting pot, but we ain't melted together so much. We got a whole lot of stuff in the stew, but it haven't blended together and got that good taste that it's supposed to have. I mean, and I don't know if this comes from the fact that I'm part of the minority, because it would be very easy for me to be a veteran, an African American, and a female to really despise certain races, I'm going to say one race, in the United States. It could be very easy for me to do that. And I could have raised my children to believe the same way as something like that. But I didn't, because everybody is not the same. You can take one person from one race, they can be a jackass, and you can take another person from the same race, and they are the most beautiful person you ever met in your whole life. All Caucasians are not like the orange man and the people that he surrounded himself with. And all African Americans or brown people or anybody of any other race are not all out trying to rob, steal, kill, all the things that they put out there that people are doing. I have an African American son that's 32 here this year. He's at home raising his child. He's not out trying to rob nobody, rape nobody, steal something from somebody, and be disrespectful to somebody and all of that. I just hate that we have gotten to a point that we feel like the next person, if we look at them by their skin color, that determines who they are. What did the random police officer do? They were trampling over that man. Now, I don't know what he did prior to that, but I can say this. Regardless of what he did, it did not take 4 police officers on horses to trample on him to bring him down when he was already crouching. One of them could have gotten off their horse and just handcuffed him. You don't have to trample on him. And I'm not against police officers. All police officers are not bad. It don't take a whole lot of them to give them a bad name, just like anything else. You got bad police officers in every state of the United States. But you got more of them who are good. But it only takes 2 or 3 that gets on the TV and do some stuff that they shouldn't be doing that's going to make that whole office look bad. Just like I live in South Carolina. I watch these sheriff say all kinds of crazy stuff on TV, like the one in Florida, talking about, they would run you over and kill you and then let your family know that they had to kill you. I listened to DeSantis in Florida say that if you were driving down the street and there were protesters and they were blocking your way, you could run them over. I live in the state of South Carolina, and I'm going to tell you now, it's a red state. We got a red governor who's a Republican, and it's the old boy school government here. But our sheriff got on TV and said that they support the protesters. Just don't do something you ain't supposed to be doing, and you won't get in no trouble. Otherwise, they're not going to do anything to them. They didn't say anything that if you spit on them, we going to hit them, or if you're in the street, run over the people, or, if you do something, then we're going to run you down and kill you and tell your family about it. None of that. Because we have the right to protest. There's nothing wrong with protesting. I can't say that I'm not prejudiced. We all have some biases. We all have some prejudice. We all have. I'm not in the power group, so I can't say that I'm a racist. Most racists, you have to be in the power group. But yeah, we all have some, but definitely not to the point that I would want to go out and hurt somebody of another race. And most of the time, my biases comes from that individual person. It don't have nothing to do with their race. Like, I got a Karen that live across the street. My sister can tell you, she is a nasty individual. And she's the cat lady on top of that. She over there by herself, and she got all these cats that she don't let live in her house. She feeds them, and they're all on her porch. It's about 5 or 6. I think one day I counted 6 of them. And she has a dog that she walks. I told y'all she let him come over and pee in my yard because she doesn't particularly care for me. She watched me the whole time I moved in. I didn't really know who she was because she would just have her door open and she would stand in the door. So I didn't really pay her too much attention. I knew she was watching me, but I didn't really pay her that much attention. So one day she was coming back from walking her dog, and I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" Because I was getting out my car. And she gave me that look like, and turned her head. So then I'm thinking maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something about me rubbed her the wrong way. But then my sister came over, and she treated her and my nephew the same way. And I was just like, this witch. But this is what I did find out. Now, my neighbor, I think it was her brother, because the guy looks a lot like her, came over to get her dog. Now, when he came out, she was bouncing out the house. Hi. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You don't like African-American women, but you like African-American men, or it's just because he's a man. I don't know. But I have a thing about the cat smart. Now, first of all, I'm going to say this. I'm not a cat person. Okay? But there are rules here where I can't let Parker just run amok. I can't open the door and just let him run through the neighborhood and do what he want to do, and then he just come back home when he feel like it. So it really annoys me that this woman has like 6 cats that she feeds, that she doesn't take in her home, and they just run the neighborhood. Because I kept trying to figure out where all the cats came from. I did not know that they were all at her house. Because they said, one day I came home and one of the damn cats was on my porch, laid on my damn Amazon package. Y'all know I was really annoyed. And so my thing is, I don't think it's fair. If you have a pet, you should take care of it. Hi, Deborah. I think if you have a cat park, he hears somebody outside. I don't care if you have a cat, dog, fish, whatever it is, it's your responsibility. If you have cats, then they should be in your home. They should not be running the neighborhood, because everybody ain't cat people. And I should not come in my backyard and see cat footprints, because now I know why Parker be barking in the middle of the night, because the cats are coming through the backyard. It's just ridiculous. I think that, and it's a saying, but it's true. If you feed a dog will eat at your house and keep on moving. But if you feed a cat, it's going to keep coming back, because they figure if you fed me once, you'll feed me twice. And every morning she's out there with all them damn cats surrounding her, but she don't let none of them in her house. I've never been a cat person. Well, Parker doesn't shed. I don't know if it's his breed, but he's not a shedder. So I don't have. I don't know. Just like today, I cleaned up and swept and mopped and all that. No dog here. He's not a shedder. So I don't have that problem with him. He need a haircut, but the guy that cuts him is like 3 weeks. He had a 3-week waiting list. I'm like, oh my gosh, did everybody find out he was a good dog groomer? Well, y'all see my house. I clean it behind Parker all the time, but he's not a messy dog. I mean, he knows where his area is. He knows the rest of the house is my area. The most he's going to do is do what y'all hear him do right now. Parker! Come on now. Hey! There's somebody, I got the window open in the kitchen. There's somebody getting in their car. He can hear them. That's what I get the most of the time. My boss even said to me one day, I was having a training with him, and Parker started barking. And he was like, does your dog not like you? And I was like, why do you say that? He's like, he's always barking. I was like, he barks at everything. He's not barking at me. He's barking at people outside the house. Well, come get your boyfriend, nephew, ma'am. Yeah, Recessionista was saying, I think that was Recessionista. Who was that said something? No, Deborah. As a, excuse me, as a veteran, I was very, I don't know, it just did something to me to see them send in the Marines. First of all, that particular group of Marines that they sent to California is a group that is a highly specialized, trained group of Marines who their job is to, like, when you hear about going into other countries and the Marines did this, that, or whatever, that's what they do. And I'm sure Deborah can attest to this. When you're getting trained as a military person, your job is to kill. I mean, whether people want to believe it or not, that's what you're trained to do. You're trained to protect the United States. That's what you signed up to do. They train you how to protect the United States. Whatever your job is in the military is geared towards you being able to protect the United States, whether it's here or abroad. So for you to bring in military people who are not just regular military people, but specialized in to do crowd control, to control the protesters, that's not what they're trained for. And they were so much trained for that for the last week, they've been training them how to do crowd patrol because they're not trained for that. You got Marines out there on the streets with weapons. Military don't carry guns unless you're like a military police officer. You're carrying a weapon. And that weapon is used to do what? Take out the enemy. That is all you're trained to do. My job was that if I saw the enemy, I was to take them out before they took me out. Just like they were trained to take me out before I take them out. So for you to put these people out on the street and now pretty much tell them if other Americans cross this line or come across this barrier or try to come in this building and they're protesting, then you are to use force to stop them from doing that. Well, part of the issue is we have a young military. Most of the people that were in other wars and all this stuff, they ain't in there no more. Shoot, I was in Desert Storm, and I can say majority of us are not in there anymore. I would say yeah, unless they were really younger. The majority of us are not in there anymore. So you have young people who, hell, they can't deal with breakups with each other, let alone deal with a protester that's yelling in their face or saying something they didn't like or stepped across the line. I could look at the military members, the Homeland Security, the National Guard, and the Marines when these people were coming up on them. They could not deal with the things that people were saying to them. So now you got the military on this side, Homeland Security, National Guard, all over here, and they're thinking about, okay, they got me out here, I'm supposed to protect this building, I'm supposed to do whatever the job is, and I want to go home. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want anything to happen to me where I can't make it back home. Then you got the protesters on the other side who are scared and angry and frustrated because now the government done picked up my loved one or my neighbor, my friend, my father, or my brother, or whoever, and they're inside the building, and we don't know where they're going, what's going to happen to them, and I can't even talk to them, and they can't contact me. So you got two groups of people who are both angry, upset, frustrated for whatever their reasons are. So all it takes is for one person to say something crazy to the other person for something to be off and popping. Those are not the people to put out there. The police get trained. I had no idea that California had as many police. I think they got like 8,000 police officers. I had no idea that they had that many police officers. They have protests out there on a regular. They are trained. They're expected. They know how the protesters act. They know how to respond to it. Not all of them, but the majority of them. And so why not let them do their job? Well, recessionista, a lot of states got a high crime rate. They can't be no higher than Chicago, Detroit, New York, Atlanta, Miami. But at least the police officers in those areas know what they're dealing with. You're bringing in people from other areas who don't even know what the hell they're doing. It was ridiculous. And they only had like 50 protesters the first day, and that's because they had picked, and most of those were family members. They had went to the Home Depot. Who the hell ICE goes to the Home Depot to pick up the people that's standing outside trying to get a day labor job? That's crazy. Because they said they have got to pick up 3,000 immigrants every day. Where the hell are you going to get 3,000 immigrants at every day? And they didn't know. So that's when they said, I don't know who thought of it, but well, there's people that do day labor down by the Home Depot. Let's go there. Let's go to the church. Let's go to the schools. They had children afraid to leave the school or go to school because they was worried about somebody getting picked up. They picked up a pregnant woman. And they roughed her up so bad that she ended up having to go to the hospital and she had a baby early. I'm just like, they need to stop. They have got to stop. This is not America. This is not what it was founded on. And these laws that they keep pulling up from the 1800s, That shit need to be strucken off the books. Because this man is, and we know it's not him because he ain't smart enough to do that. He done hired some racist, smart ass people behind him that know how to go in and find these little laws that they can bring up and say, you know, because every state still has laws on the books that we don't go by anymore. Just like in the state of South Carolina, they still have on the books that you can't buy pantyhose on Sunday. But nobody goes by that. But if they wanted to, that somebody could press the issue. You could be at Walmart or Target or somewhere trying to buy you some pantyhose before you go to church or whatever, and you could go to jail for buying pantyhose on a Sunday because it's still on the books. It's still the law. I mean, there's a lot of states that still have laws on the books about interracial couples being married, living together, stuff like that. So there's a lot of laws that do not apply in 2025. And there should be somebody that needs to go through the laws up there and bring to the forefront the ones that don't apply anymore or the ones that need to be changed or tweaked or whatever the case may be. They really do. Let me see. Was there anything else I wanted to rant about? Hey, Tashana. How are you and Charlie? Are you guys still at home or are you back in the truck? Tashana, you had me cracking up. Tell Charlie I said, don't have you out there trying to crank that truck up. I guess you was when y'all trying to change the tire? Girl, you was working it out. I was just like, look at Charlie making her work for her ride. You was out there. I was like, I've been told Charlie off and I'll be back in the truck. This is something that I will not be doing, Charlie. Now I might cook and I will clean the truck and I'll be here for you. But I ain't gonna be out here trying to manually lift the truck up. Hell no. Oh, see, you better woman than me because I've been told Charlie, hell to the no, Charlie. I'm not doing that. Now I'll get back in the truck and make you something to eat. What you want? Oh, thank you, Deborah. That's so sweet. Oh, see, that's too much. Y'all ain't got no electronic thing that just lifts it up to get the load off or something? Because that's too much. Oh, no ma'am. No ma'am. I had to, if Charlie was making me do that, I had to stay at the house. Deborah, I am fine. I am just disappointed in our government right now, just like a lot of other people, but you know, I'm okay. And you know, we're used to being treated badly, discriminated against, and being abused and misused, so we'll survive this. Hopefully it won't get any worse, but I don't like to see other people I don't like to see anybody being misused and abused for absolutely no reason. I mean, we put laws and rules and stuff in place and people are going by them, and you wait until they go to the courthouse to meet with their lawyer to do the things they need to do for citizenship, and you pick them up 2 weeks before they're supposed to get paperwork for, you know, whatever it is, because it takes time. It takes time to become a citizen here. It takes time to get your green card and all this stuff like that. It's not like it's an overnight thing. So even if you come here and you're trying to walk the process out, it takes time. That's unfair for somebody to come and cart you up and you're 6 months into the process, or you're a year and a half into the process, and ship you out, and they don't even send you back home. They just send you to any country that we got this, that we're paying that's going to take you right now. Oh, Martin, yes he does. Yeah, I was hearing you talking about the trucks. You're switching companies. Well, I guess you got to wait till y'all switch companies before you tell that story. How long are you guys going to be home? You know, things are just getting so crazy out here. And that's the sad thing. You know, COVID was one thing that stopped us from really socializing with each other. We still do a lot of shopping from home, and, you know, now we interact through the internet and social media and stuff. So we don't really do all the socializing that I grew up on. And then stuff like this makes it even worse. You know? Hey, Lovecraft, how are you? Let's see, what else happened this week? Am I missing anything? Y'all tell me, oh, how many of y'all been watching the P. Diddy trial? Y'all know, I have gotten so consumed. And the thing is, besides the Orange Man doing stuff, to get a break from him, I go watch the P. Diddy stuff. Then when I get too much of that, I go back watching the Orange Man. So it's a back and forth thing. So I've been watching more P. Diddy this week, give or take. I know, Martin, you don't like it. It's important to me because I'm hoping this is going to be between him and y'all seen Weinstein got charged for 2 of the ladies, and the third one, it was a hung jury, but they're now getting ready to take him back to court on that one. So he's going to be in jail till he die, in prison. Yeah, he won't be out. So, yeah, he's something nasty, ain't he? But he ain't the only one. And then Kanye came to the court on Friday, which did not help him out at all, because he got cases against him. And the woman, which everybody knows who she is now, but I'm not going to say her name, so don't say it in the chat. I don't know if it's still against the judge's rule about who she is, but I think everybody knows who she is now. Oh, it's okay, Lovecraft, you on time. But she was the Jane Doe, talked about him, and so then you're going to show up, and all that did was show us that you just as nasty as P. Diddy, but all of them are. All of them are into the same stuff. And see, this is, I'm going to say this, Recessionista. If they pay the right amount of money, yes, he will. Because you know that's how the Chrisleys got out. I did not know that when a president pardons you, that they get paid. Did y'all know that? That's how a lot of people get pardoned. They pay for that pardon. So that's how the Chrisleys got their pardon. Because I'm sure the banks were not happy after they ripped them off for so many years. I'm sure they were not happy. So if the diddler still has enough money after he pay all them dang on lawyers he got, he might get out. No, not Hunter, but you know. So yeah, if he has the money, you know Trump will take the money now. He don't have no problem with taking the money. Now, everybody does not pay the same, so let me correct that. Somebody like the Chrisleys probably going to pay more than the guy that's in prison that they're trying to do a good deed for. His family may pay less, but they're going to get paid. Oh yeah, they were friends, but Diddy did something. Apparently, the people who tried to impeach Trump the last time when he was in office were the billionaires that he hung out with. So he was part of that group. Some of his lawyers, I can't think of the head lawyer, him, and one of the female, the Caucasian female, her daddy is a big time lawyer. all of them are in that, people with money club. And so they were trying to get him impeached. And so that's where him and Diddy fell out at, because Trump was not happy with that. So he may have to kiss the ring and pay a little bit more because he done got on his bad side. But we'll see. Or he'll be the Gemini and decide that, you know what? You treated me bad, so I'm not going to help you. We'll see. We'll see. Because he said that he would look at it if he felt like Diddy did not have a fair trial. So they tried to say that they got to get rid of this one of the jurors. And so his lawyers were trying to say that it was a racist move because the prosecutors is 6 white females. And they were saying they wanted a black male to be let off the jury, which had nothing to do with his race. It had everything to do with him lying about where he lived. What did you say? You know that we don't be trying to talk about, but whose house? Girl, I don't even know what she doing. She's working on somebody else's house on the homestead? I don't know. I have not watched her. I ain't watched her, I know, since the Diddy trial started, probably. I don't even think about her. So y'all have to let me know what's going on over there. So she is working on somebody else's house that's on the homestead. I don't know what she building. I'm trying to think. The last time I seen her, she had ripped everything out and she was starting over. I don't know. Thank you. Whoever got rid of John. I don't know what she's doing. I'm trying to think. I don't know what she's doing. She was redoing the van. So I don't know if she got money to redo the van. I don't know if she started over. I don't know how much she got done. Yeah. And I can't believe that somebody else on the homestead would let her build anything for them. Why? When they got the twins. Why would they use her when the twins have built all kind of shit out there on the homestead? Oh, you think that's her? I don't know why she'd be over here. I don't even talk about her no more. Which she ought to be happy. You know, I have no interest in her no more. I'm looking shiny. There's other things that's way more important to her. And I think sometimes she just comes to our chats and try to say stuff so that we can talk about her, so that she'll have something to talk about. Because you know, all she ever talks about on her page is hateful people that hate you, people that don't like you, you know, how people treat you bad, and, you know, oh, she's working on the guest room? I thought she was already finished with that. I mean, what can she possibly do? She got so much shit up in there. How many years do I think Diddy's gonna get? Peaches and cream. She building a walk-in closet for somebody, but she couldn't even build a shoe rack for herself in the van. Stop the madness. Why does she already has a walk-in closet in her room that's filled to the rim. Yeah, well, you know. I don't even talk about it no more because she's boring, y'all. She is boring. She does the same shit day in and day out. She stuffs her face with food. She washes dishes. And then she pretends to work in the van because you don't ever see her get shit done. And then she goes to Goodwill and buy a whole bunch of stuff and try to sell it to the rest of the world. I just can't get with it. Oh, she's turning a room into a walk-in closet. Who would? You know what? And she's gonna turn a room into a walk-in closet to put a whole bunch of Goodwill stuff in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She can't even build out a van, but you're gonna build a walk-in closet, which I've seen people turn, their extra room into a closet because, especially YouTubers who do a lot of fashion stuff, they do that. But ma'am is not even in the fashion sector of YouTube. She would be in the Goodwill. Is there a Goodwill sector? If there's a Goodwill section of YouTube, she should be up in there. She really should just stay with mukbangs and going out and do restaurant reviews or something. Because van life, yeah. And I mean, what we're going on? She's been at Miss Charlene's for 2 years now. Are we going into the third year? I done got lost. I don't know. We might be going after October. It'll be a third year. That's still crazy to me. How you move in, a YouTuber that moves in with a subscriber and stay there for years on end. She's not even in the thrifting sector because her good deals, I mean, you're going to Goodwill. You're not even going to stores where you can show me how I can get a good deal at Home Goods or Dollar Tree or, Lord knows she loves Dollar General. I mean, something that's benefiting me. You going to Goodwill in Nevada does not help me in South Carolina because the two Goodwills are totally different stores. Yeah, it's going into the third year. I like that, Shay. The impoverished sector. Now, recessionista, I could get with you with the squatting sector. I don't, to me, that is mind-boggling. That even if, like I'm always talking about meeting Tashana and Charlie, or Eris. So let's just say I happen to go to Chicago or, what, I think, hey. You know what? He be tripping sometimes. Fucker really be tripping. Stop. I think they're in Ohio. I think you're in Ohio, Tashana. But let's just say I happen to visit the city they're in. And we go out to dinner or something. Somehow, if they said, hey, Deborah, you could just crash here for the night. Don't worry about getting a hotel. Somehow, I don't think they would appreciate it if they look up 2 years later and I'm still crashing at their house. You know what? Lovecraft, something came up. I didn't know what sector they were in, but I seen something about that happening to one YouTuber by another YouTuber. And I'm like, were they in a relationship or did they know each other or they just happened to meet each other and that happened? No, he barking at the lady next door. That's what I'm saying. Why? Because they're more interesting people, okay? I'm going to have to look that up. I was so consumed with the Diddy thing, but it did come across my feed. But I didn't know what was the reason behind why one person did that to another. But there have been quite a few TikTok, or maybe it was TikTok, TikTokers that have gotten, I don't know what that is all about. Oh, her husband did it. Was this an affair? Was she dealing with somebody else and the husband did that to the other person? Yes, we must say hi to Annabelle. Hi, Daniel. Oh, so one child. See what I'm saying? That proved my point about having these young people in the military that's having to deal with people, protesters. You got them that they cannot deal in relationships. When did it become just so socially acceptable that if you're having issues in your relationship, you just kind of handle the other person, where you just unalive them? When did we start doing that? Oh my gosh. All behind YouTube? There's quite a few couples. Like there's the van lifers that do YouTube from Vegas because they always have good tips and stuff about going to Vegas. That's crazy. What is happening to us? What is happening to us? That do you know how many people watch YouTube in a day? I have no idea. I'm sure thousands, millions. There are millions of channels out here. So even if you're in the Las Vegas sector that does, YouTube videos on just Vegas, how many people are just in that sector that you're going to get so jealous that people like watching them more than they like watching you? Change how you do stuff. Oh my gosh. What is it with the YouTube? Mm, mm, mm. I mean, because you don't like somebody on YouTube? Child, cheese. I guess I better stop deleting these trolls and all this foolishness. Because my thing is, how can you take it so personal? Like if somebody comes in my chat and they say something ridiculous and it's one of those nights that I feel like saying something crazy back, how you gonna take it so personal? We don't even know each other. We ain't seen each other in our whole life. There's nothing that I'm doing is gonna affect your life on any level. How can you get that mad at somebody that you need to unalive them? Oh, mm. And that's something you do have to worry about. I'm so fine though. I don't know. That you do. Some of the ones that do the fashion and the makeup and like Peyton Marie Charles, that she gets a lot of people that say stuff. I don't really look at people's chats, but like with Justine, I actually looked at her chat one night and I could not believe some of the things. People don't even say the stuff that I get up in here is nothing compared to some of the things that they say to her in her chat. And I was just like, oh my gosh, people are so mean and so disgusting. So like when Peyton would be talking about people saying stuff in the chat, you have to really you got to get a hardcore because people will sit behind their phones and their laptops and their desktops and all this stuff and type up all kind of crazy stuff. And then you got people who, dang, I can't think of her name now. But I was watching her. She was really a TikToker. Um, but she said when she started out, she was a troll. She would just pull up people's channels and just troll them, just to be trolling them. And you better be careful, but you got Charlie. Oh, the one that did the murking decided to plead self-defense? Or was it the husband that got rid of them? Because if that's the case, if the man rolled up on them, I could see him pleading self-defense. But if it's the person that rolled up on the couple, nah, there ain't no self-defense on that. And even if you beefing on you, okay, that's like I say stuff about McNasty. Though she always swear, um, she's so afraid that we're gonna go. Like I'm gonna get on a damn plane and fly to Vegas to do something to her. Please, I don't even know that woman. So, yeah, there's not. What kind of beef could I have with somebody on YouTube unless they're doing something personal like I've seen in the beef sector. Now, the beef sector can get down and dirty where they send in DSS on the people and the police to their house, calling their landlords and all this kind of crazy stuff like that, calling the people jobs. Yeah, and I've seen them do that. That's crazy for YouTube. To me, that's just crazy. But yeah. Otherwise, what do I care about what you say about me? You're just in the cyber highway, the internet streets, the social media. I don't know who the hell you are. I don't even know if you're who you say you are. You see what I'm saying? So why am I going to get so upset about that? And I don't have to watch your videos, and I can block you from watching mine. So I don't get it. Like with Mac over there, if she despises us so much, why does she watch our videos? Like I've had people do videos on me who were people from her side. And matter of fact, the one lady got so mad because I didn't watch her video. She sent me an email to tell me that she did a video on me and attached the video to the email, which I still did not watch because I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't care what the hell you say about me out here. I don't care if any of her people or people that come in the chat or make comments. Like I deleted a lady the other day. I'm like, first I said something to her and I was like, you know what, I ain't got to deal with this bullshit. She was trying to tell me that I was making up the stories about what was happening to the people in California and all that, and that it was drama and theater and all this. And I was like, I'm not even in the mindset for that bullshit. So I just blocked her from my channel. I don't have to go, even if she made a video about me, I have no idea. And I don't care, because you don't mean anything to me. I don't even know who the hell you are. Oh, there are crazies out here. And you can probably look it up, Recessionista. Just put in YouTuber in Nevada and unaliving or something like that. Or a YouTube couple or a man that, YouTuber in Nevada that, I don't know, you can put the words in your search and it'll come up. I mean, I think it's crazy. Now, if I had somebody want to come against me, like, even like the thing that happened with Nomadic when somebody was video her doing her videos, and then she went to the extent of getting a car so that they wouldn't follow her, I probably just would have left. I think she was in Florida at the time. I just would have left Florida. Oh, Chow Cheese. I don't give a rip about that person. I don't even know who that person is. She was one of McNasty's people, and she got mad that I was saying stuff about her, so she decided to do a video on me, and then she said it in the chat, and I told her I didn't give a shit then, so then she emailed me to tell me and attached the video, and I told her, ma'am, I will never watch the video, because I don't give a damn what you say. I'm just like, I'm not that person. My sister will tell you if she's still in here. I'm not that person. I don't care. You're not in my immediate family. You're not my child. I'm dealing with you live where I have to, have to have some sense of caring about that. You ain't one of my subscribers, and I tell you what, even if you were a subscriber, and because I have had to let some of them go, um, you know, uh, y'all did it before I did. It's my channel. So I'm like this. There are millions of channels on YouTube. YouTube is a big world. So if you don't like what I say, you can always go find somebody. And that's what kills me. I don't even know how people fall up into my chats because when I'm live. Other than them swiping and they happen to fall in because I'm live. Because I got 1,300 subscribers. I ain't even bust 1,500 or 2,000. So why the hell would you care about what I say? Other than you ain't got shit else to do. We need a YouTube fight. Go to the beef sector. They fight all the time. Tashana. See, I just ignored Miguel. And somebody went ahead, one of the moderators went ahead and took him out. And see, that's just people that ain't got shit else to do on a Saturday, but get on YouTube and say stuff, and they want you. They want you to argue with them. If I'm gonna argue with you, I'm gonna argue with you about something that I'm passionate about. I don't know who the fuck Miguel is. Is he gonna make a difference in my day? Hell no. Or my night? No. What you say, Parker? We say, fuck you, Miguel. Fuck you. Child cheese. Y'all see Parker need a haircut badly. And they talking about 3 weeks. He needs a haircut. Okay, get down. Get down, boo-boo. Thank you. Yep, it's Parker. Parker's always here. Yes, he is, whether you hear him or not. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure out, because I can tell her right now, McNasty don't care nothing about her unless she's sending some cash apps or some super chats or some stuff like that. So I don't know why she was defending her, because she's already told her subscribers, do not take up for her. Do not come to our channels. And that's what I had told her when she said something in the chat. I was like, ma'am, you ain't even supposed to be over here. Because your leader done already told you, don't come over here and talk to us. But they used to do it real bad. But now that she got this new group of people that don't send her no money, they don't really say nothing. But when she was back over in Quartzsite, oh my gosh, they used to come over here on a regular. One black woman talking about another black woman. I need to get a life. And some of the stuff was her too. If you got a family and all this, why you worried about what she doing? And you supposed to be so educated. And I was like, it just goes to show that McNasty ain't got it all up here. Because I have never watched all her videos. I'm trying to think of how many I might have watched all the way through. Maybe 5, because she got a lot. And it was a short video. And that was probably when she was in Quartzsite. Most of the time I fast forward through them. So, yeah, for her to sit and watch my videos and for her to be able to go on her channel and be able to say stuff like my education, what job I have, what I got my degree in, personal stuff that only somebody that would have to watch the video or that's in, like you guys are here during the live. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't expect her folks to be any smarter than she is. You like to come back? Sometimes I do. I have to be in the right mood. I'm drinking light wine tonight. Now, if I was drinking some tequila or something, Miguel probably ass would have got cussed out. And what the hell is this thing about everybody coming in and say hi? Well, why do I need to say hi? Thank you for coming. Yo, hold on. I need a refill. And this wine is, it's okay, but it's a very light wine. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Move, partner. What y'all cook today? I'm hungry. What time is it? I ate me little. Wow, my TV has a very big delay. Anybody cook today? I surely did not. I feel like some hot wings. You had leftovers? You had French toast? I have not cooked French toast in so long. I used to cook it for my son and stuff, but yeah. But I feel like some hot wings. That's why I need a second phone, because now I can't order my hot wings because I'm on here doing a live. Yeah, salad. Sausage patties with some fried onions and peppers. You know, Polly, I like not the sausage patty because I'm not a big sausage person, but I do like the kielbasa sausage. Oh, and it's really good if you grill it and you put some green peppers and onions and put it in a hot dog bun. You talking about good eating? Wait a minute, I think I might have a sausage in the refrigerator. Ah, that might be the ticket when I get off of here. Take that out the freezer and thaw it out real quick and grill it up with some green peppers. And I'm trying to think, don't have any green peppers. I know I got some onions. Green peppers cost so much. But Lovecraft, you know, I look at her and we can say, why did so many people get fooled by Trump? I'm beginning to realize that Americans are very gullible. We are. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us. Because it's like we like to be scammed. Like every year, oh, look at her. Oven baked ribs, sweet corn, and salad. Okay, you the only one that cooked a good meal, a really big meal or a good meal. The rest of us just putting some stuff together to eat on a Saturday. But yeah, Americans like to be scammed because every year, especially here in the state of South Carolina, they talk about the different scams that happen. And I tell you, they hit South Carolina big time. Oh, do y'all remember when the scam was out where you get the fake check? Where they would send you a check like you won some money from a lottery or something like that? Oh, is this somebody on YouTube, Recessionista? Or just somebody you met in person? Well, Um, the church is not the church anymore. The church is just a place where people go really to socialize and for the pastors to make money. Wow. That's scary, recessionista. Stop it, Martina. He bought the Trump watch for $600 and the teeth fell off and now it says rump. Where do they think he's making this stuff? The same place he put tariffs on. His mess is getting made in China. Why would you pay $600 for a Trump watch when you could have got a watch by a brand name company that's been out here for years? People are so gullible. Babe, I don't understand. I almost think that people want to be conned. That's all I can say. They just want to be conned. They want to believe in something, so they believe in anything. I'm just like, this is crazy because that man sells a lot of shit. Did y'all see the gold tennis shoes he was selling? The Trump high tops? He sells everything. He done sold cards. He done sold tennis shoes. He done sold bitcoins. He done sold watches. I'm just like, I cannot. He's like a traveling salesman. Who is buying gold high top tennis shoes with Trump on it? I'm sure somebody did, though. I'm sure somebody did. Okay, I didn't even know Obama was selling a watch. Obama had a watch? Hmm. Now I'd have bought my baby daddy. I would have bought his watch. He should have gave it to me free. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Bible. Of all people, you would buy a Bible from him. Of all people, when he was standing remember when he went to the church the last time and he had the Bible upside down, standing there. Oh my gosh. I think he did sell a Bible. I think he did have a Trump Bible. I would have to look it up, but I think he did have a Trump Bible. And when they said to him, "What is your favorite scripture?" He was like, "It's the whole book," because he don't know not one scripture, not a one. Ooh, what is that, Parker? What is that? What is? Oh, I got it. Some bug done flew up in there. And I got the back door open. Something flew in here, but I was able to hit it with the stick. I don't know where it went. Parker went looking for it. I hope I knocked it out or killed it. People are just gullible. Yes, he does have small hands, but you know Stormy said that he had a small... Mm-hmm. Why would I buy a Bible for $100 from a person that don't even read the Bible? But I'm sure there were some good Christians that did. Hi, Joe. I'm sure there was. You know, it's so sad that in this day and age that I can't even say to people in good faith, go to church. Because there are so many churches that's just all about the money. I can't say that in good faith that I can say that this person is a real Christian because they all about themselves. I mean, what can you believe in nowadays that man has not messed up. I mean, I have never talked about the leader of our country the way I've talked about this one. Out of all the presidents that I've lived through. Mm. Did y'all see that picture where they said there was a catheter in his pants? There's something going on with him that he don't want the rest of us to know. That's why he never disclosed his medical records like everybody else. You're right, Martina. People got itching ears right now. Itching ears, itching ears. But I'm thinking, and I could be wrong because somebody else tried to tell me I'm wrong, but I'm wondering, is he the precursor to the Antichrist? Because the Bible talks about how things get so bad, people are going to have itching ears. They're going to listen to any and everything and follow any and everything. And the Antichrist is going to come in and have that voice to say that I'm going to cause a union of everybody and bring everybody together, and people will follow that person. And he is the type of person that would be put in place, that he's caused so much division and havoc just in the United States that if somebody else came along making us believe that they would unite the United States back, that it would be very easy for people to follow that person. Oh, I know what I was going to tell y'all. You know that they're so upset because statistically it shows, and that in some areas it's already happened, that minorities will outnumber Caucasians at a certain point. Now, mind you, even now, they still have the power. They still are the richest. They still have the most power in the United States. But they're not reproducing as much as other races are. So, him bringing in that airplane full of 250 South Africans, because there is, you know, a thing going against the white farmers in South Africa. He's doing this because since they can't force Caucasian women to produce more babies, that's why they got rid of abortion. You know, it didn't have nothing to do with us. They got rid of it because too many Caucasian women were not having their babies. So now, one of his ways of being able to repopulate the United States with people that are not of color is to ship in people from other countries. And I think I told my sister this. I was like, but does she not realize that shipping in South Africans they would be the definition of African American because they are South African? So, so because you can't get the women to have the babies, you're going to ship in people from other countries. Because you notice that the countries he put a ban on were all countries of color. Not one country in Europe, not one country in Asia, all countries of color. Mm-hmm. But you still have a country full of people of color who are still reproducing. And see, because they made up their own crazy laws, like this whole thing about the blood thing, and even though they don't talk about it like they used to, about if you're 1/4, you have 1/4 African American blood, you're considered black or whatever. Do you know that they still try to do that? Because I had a girlfriend. She was from, oh my gosh, she was from the deep woods of West Virginia. And her parents, you talking about racist? I mean, she went home with this baby they would not even take the baby outside because they didn't want anybody to know that she had a baby by a black guy. So when she took the baby to daycare, because we was both in the military at the same time, when she took the baby to the daycare, you know, and at that time they were still, I don't know, do they still want to know your race on applications and stuff? I don't know. They wanted to know the race. She put down the race of the baby. She said white. She's the mama. She's white. And they told her no, that the baby was the race of the father. And that's because he was dark skinned. Because we was in Arizona then. And whenever we went somewhere together, people always thought that he was my son, though he looked just like her, except for he was darker. They always thought that he was my child because he was of a darker skin color. I was like, that is crazy. So all these babies that have been born with an African American father, they're all considered black children. So they have forgotten that our country now is full of biracial children and people. And so because they have decided that if the child looks like the color of the darker parent, that's going to be their race, well, hell, that's why you got so many minorities. My sister is here in South Carolina, Lovecraft. She's here. The other one's not in the chat tonight. She's actually moving. But Fuego is here with me in South Carolina. Well, my passport, I just had to get it renewed, so whatever was already on there. But I hadn't filled out an application in a while, so I was wondering if it was still on there. I have no idea what the Amazing D is talking about. Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should not be. Don't tell your stalker where you live. I'm sorry. She doesn't live in South Carolina. Oh, you know what? Lovecraft, that was something that I was trying to come on tonight on StreamYard because I was going to have her as my guest. And then I went live. It was just a whole mess. Oh, I found out why the sound wasn't working, Black Fuego. I still have my earbuds in. So I have put the sound on the phone, but because I had my earbuds in, I think that's why it didn't work. So I think we should try it again tomorrow and see where people can still hear me. So I was going to do StreamYard so that she could be my guest on, and we could have a conversation about all of this. And then also I want to try StreamYard so that you guys could come on and chit-chat, and I could talk with y'all more in person. Oh, we're going to have a footprint, Peaches and Cream. Even if they try to erase us, they can't. We're here. We're never going to leave. Yeah, I didn't realize that until after we got off the live on StreamYard, and then I did like this, and I was like, oh shit, I had my Bluetooth on. That's why it didn't go through. Hey, you know I'm not tech savvy. Don't even start. But yeah, they can't erase our footprint even if they wanted to. We built America. We did, and we're still building America. People of color are the ones building America, and they have and still are. So even if they try to erase us, that's why it's important for us to do like we did years ago, which is continue our stories by word of mouth, by telling our children, our grandchildren, about the things that happen in your family, about if you have people in your family that did things We're going to have to keep our history going just by us giving oral history lessons or us writing our own stories down so that we can pass it on through our families. They're trying, but it's up to us to keep our history going. Because to be honest, when I was in school, I didn't get Black history. Black history was an elective. And so if you didn't take it, you didn't get it. And what I learned, actually, there was a guy when I went in the military at my first base. I've always been a big reader. There's 3 girls and 1 boy. My brother was not a big reader, but the three of us, me and my 2 sisters and my mom, were always big readers. And so I used to work like the 11 to 7 shift. On nights when we were slow, I was always reading a book. And so he said to me one night, he was like, do you ever read anything by like Black authors? And I never really thought about it. I just read books that I liked. And he was like, I was like, I never really thought about it. So he started schooling me on different Black authors. And that's how I actually began to read books by Black authors. Because before that, I just read books by, who I liked or whatever. And so, yeah, we have to do that. We have to be able to teach our children and our grandchildren and just like now, when I buy my grandchildren books, I buy books that reflect who they are. Like my granddaughter, I bought her books especially when she was younger, for years about her hair and her skin color and things like that, because I didn't want her to believe that the whole world was just the way they show it on TV. Lion, we have already discussed all that. You're a little bit late. Well, they put it in because that reflects America more now. We have, and that's what kills me. Race should not even be on, I guess they put it on passports so it could go along with who you look, they want to know who you are. But we have such a large population of biracial people that is not even on applications and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when you ask somebody what their race is, they could be multiracial. I mean, what are they supposed to put on there? It's a dark meaning behind what? Recessionista, what are you talking about? It's a dark meaning behind, I don't know, what are you saying? It's a dark meaning behind what? Behind interracial relationships, couples, children. Oh, what's the dark meaning? You can tell us. I mean, I'd like to know. I do know that in most cultures or countries that I visited when I was in the military and lived in, they had they're doing it because they're doing it for money. They realize that there's that whole sector of people that they're trying to reach. You still have shows, which is amazing to me in 2025. Like, I don't know why I like watching them, but the other day or last week it kind of dawned on me. I like watching Morning Joe. I don't know why. I don't like him because he talks too much. But I don't know. I don't know why I started watching them. you talking to, Lovecraft? My sister or me? But I realized the other day or last week that they don't really have nobody, people of color on their morning show. And I'm like, why the heck am I watching them? And it just kind of dawned on me. What is a white tea? A white tea. Is that a yellow lady? Child, you know I'm old. You gotta explain the abbreviations. The baby is genetically a white tea person. Oh. Oh, okay, girl, y'all know I'm old. I ain't know what white tea was. Even Martin knew what white tea was. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so how are they figuring that's a genetically new white person? That is crazy. So they trying to start a whole new race of white people that don't look white? Ah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. Don't laugh at me, Black Fuego. You know I be slow sometimes. That's interesting that you're gonna start. Somehow I don't think Trump is down with that one. I just realized it. YT. YT. I'm with you, Martin. Too many abbreviations. Um, yeah, but I don't see how they can do that because some come out looking very, very light. Some come out looking dark. I mean, I don't understand that. Yeah, I know he is. Well, no, well, okay. That baby has some tint to him. I'm gonna tell you this: in America, if you got any tint to you, you ain't gonna be white. Did y'all watch the movie called Passing? And the guy that I was telling y'all about that hooked me up with reading books by black authors, that was one of the books that he told me about. I read that book back in 1993, 92, 1992 or something. They finally made the movie on it. The movie, the book is so much better than the movie. But anyway, because we had people that passed for years. We actually had a black president that passed. So the issue is if they look, see in the United States they still go by how you look. It doesn't matter if one parent is biracial and they have children with another parent that's not. If they're still the color that looks like they can't pass as YT, uh, yeah, Lovecraft. The book is way better than the movie was. The movie didn't even hit how deep that was during that time. You have to read the book. The book was so much, and it wasn't a thick book. The book was so much better. Thank you, Black Fuego. Um, Recessionista, you don't have to step back. I'm a person that likes to know knowledge. If there's some stuff that you read that you know about, email me. It's at it's opposite of Parker Posse Parker at gmail.com. It's the opposite of Parker Posse, so it's Posse Parker at gmail.com. I would be interested in reading about it. Yeah, it didn't go as deep as the book. The movie kind of just skimmed. I was so excited when I seen that they made the movie. I could not wait, and it did not go as deep. Sort of like The Color Purple. The Color Purple, the book was about this big, but even with as long as they made the movie, it did not go as deep as what the book went. That's why a lot of times I like reading the book before I ever see the movie. Um, yeah, but on that, the United States is a stickler about how a person looks. It's all about image, color, and all that. So even if you take a biracial person and they have a baby by a person, let's say you take a biracial woman, she has a baby by a white T, or a biracial man, he has a baby by a white T. If the baby comes out looking dark, they're still going to consider that baby as non-white T. that's just how it is. It's all about perception. It's all about how you look. That's why when you had people back in the day who passed, especially for women, they were always concerned about what was going to happen if they had a baby. And that's what the whole book about passing was about, was that the woman had passed, but she got pregnant. And she was so concerned about how her baby was going to come out. Just like, okay, look at the whole thing with, how could I forget her name? Because my sister talked about her for, oh my gosh, months and months. Meghan and Prince Harry. The whole thing was, what color was the children going to be? That's because they didn't want it to be. Oprah didn't want it to be. Yeah, that's why they did. That's why the first Color Purple, it didn't hit on it at all. Though, if you really looked at the movie, you could tell. I actually thought that movie showed it more than the second one. I didn't like the second version that much. I liked the music, didn't like the movie version that much. I thought the first Color Purple stuck more to the book. Even though they didn't come out and overtly say that they were, you could kind of read into it that they were. And I don't know, I thought the actors in the first one was better. I don't know. For me, I thought the first one went more with the book. I was more into it than the second one. They should have left it alone. They should not always make a remake of something. Now, okay, I've been hearing mixed stuff about Straw. I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan because all his movies seem the same. There's a black woman struggling with children, and then here comes this black guy, like the knight in shining armor, and he comes in and makes her life wonderful, and then they skip off into tulips. I guess from his childhood, that's what he was hoping it was going to happen with his mama. I don't know. But, what did you think about Straw, Lovecraft? Because I've heard some people say that it was a bit different. I love the fact that, what's her name? Is it Tatiana? Is that, am I saying it right? Tiana? You don't know, I'll mess up her name in a minute. She is really rising up. I really like her as an artist, a musician, and all that. But I didn't realize that, what's her name? The little short girl that got that took over from Whitney Williams. I know her name. I'm just saying if I'm saying it right. Is it Tayana? Tayana? What's the little short woman with the big old chest? Got a horrible shape. But she took over the Whitney Williams slot. Cheryl, there you go. Sherry Shepherd. I didn't know she was in it. But I haven't watched it yet. Tiana. Okay, there you go. I haven't watched it yet. I thought it was going to be another Tyler Perry movie. And so people say that it's different. It ends differently. I don't know. Because that one that they had the two ladies in where they had set the one woman up. The lady's son was dating her, and she had the people in the basement, and she was taking their checks and all that stuff. That thing was crazy. What was that movie? Yes, she is. Y'all remember that movie that he did where he had the mother from The Cosby Show played the mean lady? And the other lady was an older woman, and the younger man was courting her and all that stuff. Now that one got me. I was surprised. That one got me with Tyler Perry. You know what? Shut the hell up, Black Fuego. She know I'll mess up a name in a minute. Whatever. You know why she's saying that? Me and her was talking the other day, and I was talking about the representative AOC, but I was calling her AOL. She was like, AOL? You talking about the internet service AOL, but I was talking about AOC. Hey. It's something that I do. If y'all talk to me on a daily basis, you would know how much I can mess up a name. You can tell by the ears and like the knuckles. Because my son, he looked like an Indian baby when he came in. He has straight black hair. But you know, we come in all colors. That's the beauty of us. We can go from light bright to dark dark. Yeah. I never watched the movie Precious. I just couldn't. It was just too much for me. For whatever reason, I just could not watch that movie. Still have not watched that movie. I do follow the young lady that played in the movie. I'm not even going to try to mess up her name. Because she's so cute with her and her family. They got the twins, her and her husband. But yeah, I never watched it. No, we can't say we support genocide. We don't know what the heck the argument is. Yeah, I just never could watch it, and that's just like there's another one I could never watch. It was about, was it Mississippi something. Um, Gabrielle Union. I mean, not Gabrielle Union. Recession. Sidibe. I can say the last name. Sidibe? Sidibe? Okay, yeah. Is it Gabourey Sidibe? Yeah. What was that movie? Mississippi something, where it was a white lawyer and a black guy that got caught doing something. There you go. I've never watched Mississippi Burning. I think I watched the first 5 minutes and it pissed me off, and I was like, not watching it. There are some movies that I just have never watched because I figured for my mindset, my spirit, it was not good for me. I thought she still looked like her, just a downplayed her when I seen the previews of the movie. But they said that she did a good job. I think that's the last movie she played in. Yeah, I couldn't watch Mississippi Burning. Mm-mm. It was too much. Yeah, the trailer that I saw, she looked like she played it. She played the heck out of it. What she call herself now, Auntie. I don't know what happened to Monique, because her and what's his name, Sydney. I don't know what the deal is with Sydney. Mm. Paris Trout. I've never even heard of that. It was a very dark movie for me. I don't think I've watched Rosewood either. I don't see Gabby playing in a lot of stuff anymore. I know she did that horror show thing that they had going on. Um, no, we've never talked about Monique and Sydney, Daddy and Mama, her calling him Daddy. I don't understand their relationship, but I guess I ain't supposed to. Um, yeah, I follow her. She got the twins. And it's so funny because one looks like him, but the baby's dark, and then one looks like her, and the baby's light. Her children are now. See, that just goes to show when we was talking about race. One of the children could pass for white, and the other one is black. It's so interesting. And people said that they weren't gonna make it, and he was only with her for the money. But I don't really see her in that much since she had the babies. But he seems to be in love with her, and I'm like, hey, I'm happy for him. No, we can speak about Monique, just Monique. I really wish Monique would get past the whole Oprah and Tyler Perry. I think Tyler Perry apologized to her. I'm just like, she needs to move past it. She done got her Netflix deal, and the show was not even all that good. I was very disappointed. Um, okay, this is how I look at it. I thought she said that she did the movie because she was friends with what's the guy that did the movie? That's why she did it at a cheaper price. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Y'all correct me. But I thought she did the movie at a lower pay grade because she knew the guy that wrote it, directed, and produced it. I thought the falling out came in at when they wanted her to do the Cannes Film Festival and all that stuff. And the thing was, she said, hey, are you guys going to pay for the plane tickets, the hotel, and all that? Which I thought that that's what they normally did. If they want you to promote the movie, then they pay for you to go to wherever you need to go to promote the movies. But then they didn't want to pay her for the promotion part. Lee Daniels. Yeah, and so I didn't think she was wrong in that. Because if you're paying other artists, and if that's what the norm is that I go do the promotions, but you're going to pay for me to get there, pay for me to stay wherever I'm staying at, to do the promoting of the movie, because on the back end, you're going to make your money. And so, yeah, I didn't think she was wrong in saying, hey, if you don't want to pay me, then I'm not going to do the promotion. So why should I take my money and foot the bill for promoting your movie that could be extremely successful, and I'm not going to get any more money than what you already said you're going to pay me. And if I already said that I'm going to go ahead and do this movie for you because you're my friend and I'm not going to get paid what I would normally get paid, then what you talk? We ain't got nothing to talk about. Thank you. I mean, I didn't think she was wrong. I think she stood up for what she felt like. Now, what I thought was wrong was that for them to do, and see, this is the part that I got mad about. It wasn't about her standing up for herself because she did exactly what any artist should have done. But what I got mad about was Tyler and Oprah being gatekeepers and blocking her because she didn't want to do the bullshit that they wanted her to do. Because see, they have been doing that with other artists because the ones who played in The Color Purple, Oprah got mad because Taraja, she don't keep her mouth shut. Now, what's the singer? What's the young singer? I can't think of her name. She lives in North Carolina now. The other one that played in The Color Purple, the musical. They say that Oprah did not pay them what the pay grade should have been for them doing that movie. And so then when Taraji went and played in movies for Tyler Perry, he paid her what she was worth, and she even put out there that he paid her more than anybody else had ever paid her. And so, Oprah didn't like that because she got mad that, what's the young singer name? Because she's making I never really listened to her, but I've heard some of her stuff recently, and I never thought she was a bad singer. I just never really listened to her music. You don't know who I'm talking about. She played in, I think she ended up doing American Idol. What's her name? She did The Color Purple. I think she played Celie. I think she played the older Celie. Fantasia. There you go. Fantasia wouldn't say nothing, but Taraji was like, I'm going to say something about the fact that Oprah did not really pay us. And then the fact that normally in movies, when you're going from your hotel to the work site, they give them a ride. They got a car and all this stuff. And Taraji was talking about they had to pay for their own Uber to the place and all that. And then the food wasn't all that. See, Oprah full of shit. Oprah is full of herself. I'm like, so you're going to sit here as a multi-millionaire and then try to take advantage of other actors. Come on, ma'am. Come on. And see, that's the issue. They didn't like that Monique and Taraji because, during the promotion of The Color Purple, they had taken pictures where Taraji would be on one side and Oprah was more catering towards Fantasia and all this stuff. It was a whole bunch of mess. But the problem was they don't want to pay. And this is what kills me. If you didn't get paid your worth when you were coming up through the ranks, why would you turn around and do that to another actor? Because you figure you can down pay them because of their race. So no, she wasn't wrong in that. It became a big stink, especially after they blackballed her, but they will do that in Hollywood. And it would have took 10, 15 years for her to be able to come back. And then I guess I was really disappointed because I had seen Monique fuss and complain, and Lord know her and Sydney and they podcast. Because Monique and Sydney have said some crazy stuff on their podcast if you ever watched it. But yeah, so then when I watched her Netflix, when she finally got her Netflix, comedy thing, I was like, why is she still fussing about them? I don't know. I think Monique should have let it go, and it should not have been the biggest part of her comedy act when she did Netflix. Um, yeah, they wanted her to work for free. She shouldn't have. But as time went on, she got the apology from Tyler. She ain't never gonna get no apology from Oprah. You can hang that up. Oprah ain't apologize. She ain't gonna apologize. But things have turned around. You got your Netflix deal. You got other deals and stuff. Let it go and do your comedy. But then I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Um, who y'all talking about at Michelle's? Oh, I was never really a Monique fan. Like when she had her late night show. Mm, and I never liked her comedy really. About the best thing I liked about Monique that she came out with was Fat Girls or whatever that movie. I was never really a big Monique fan. She was kind of. I didn't really care for her comedy. I'm just gonna say that I wasn't a big fan. There's some people that I like that are comedians, and then there's some not so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I did like the Parkers. I thought that she showed her real talent in the Parker. Maybe it was because of the type of show it was. Um, but yeah, I like that. Forgot about that. But yeah, her just regular comedy, didn't like it so much. Yeah, but there's some people that I don't really care for. I don't like what's the guy that Kim Kardashian was dating? That he just messed up his career. Pete, whatever. I don't like his type of comedy. It's like crass kind of comedy, like stuff about farts and poop, and I don't like comedy like that. I'm just not into that. Mm-hmm. Not a Pete Davidson fan. Y'all, and me and my sister was trying to think of his name earlier, and between her and me, we couldn't even come up with it. The guy that's a comedian, he came from South Africa. He did the Daily Show. That's what it was. He was doing the Daily Show, but then he decided to leave, and they brought back the guy that was doing the Daily Show before him. Um, what is his name? Young guy, really cute. He got a high booty. I didn't like, don't really like a man with a big butt, but not that he was trying to date me or anything. But what's his name? He's a very handsome young man. Y'all know who I'm talking about? He used to be the comedian on the Daily Show. Come on, rack y'all brains. Y'all know I need y'all brains to make my brain work. Martina, Lovecraft, where you at? Help me out. Trevor. Trevor, thank you, love. Trevor Noah. There we go, Fuego. Trevor Noah. Now, what was I getting ready to say about him? No, the Daily. I'm sorry. Does it sound like dating show? Daily. Daily. Yeah, I didn't think Arsenio was cute either, but he had a high booty too. Hi, Deborah Cook. What was I getting ready to say about Trevor? I done forgot, Lord. What was I talking about before I talked about Trevor? Child, y'all know the wine kicking in now. I ain't had no dinner. I don't know. What was I bringing Trevor Noah up for? Oh, maybe I was saying that he was a comedian that I like. I like his stuff. I like the fact when he tells stories about when he was in Africa and all that stuff. Yeah, he got a high booty. Yeah, he's. I mean, but he is a very handsome young man. But he do have a high booty. Well, I'm sorry you never looked at his booty, Black Fuego. But even he talks about it in his comedy act. What you say? He looks like me want honeycomb. What does that mean? What does that mean, recessionista? that he wants honeycomb. I ain't seen his booty, but you know, when he's standing on stage, you can see what type of booty he got with his clothes. I don't know what that means that me want honeycomb. Because he dates women. He dates women not of our persuasion, but he dates women. Now, what are you saying, Black Fuego? MMK? MK? I don't know what's going on with y'all typing. On the honeycomb, I'm trying to think of the honeycomb commercial. Oh, I was just saying that I like him as a comedian. I think that's what I was gonna say. MK. MMK. I'm trying to sound it out. MMK? MMK. There you go, Deborah. I don't get it, Black Fuego. MMK, just tell me what the hell it is. Y'all in these damn abbreviations and sounding out shit tonight. I ain't with it. Just tell me what it is you're trying to say. Y'all know I've been drinking. Never mind. Okay. I think I was just trying to say I like him as a comedian. I think he's funny. But I like people like that. Like, I like Bob Newhart. If y'all even know who Bob Newhart is. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I'm not getting this tonight. It's like, okay. You know, recessionista. Y'all gonna quit messing with me tonight. That's what y'all gonna quit doing. Y'all gonna quit messing with me tonight. I don't know what's wrong with y'all out there. Y'all just trying to. I'm glad I'm just drinking the light wine. You know what, Black Fuego, I'm gonna put you out the chat because you just started foolishness tonight. Yeah, I like Bob Newhart. He had dry comedy. I liked his dry comedy. You had to really listen to be able to, find the comedic parts of it. Yes. You know what? Have y'all watched his doc? He's in the documentary about octopus on Netflix. I think it's Netflix or either Prime. Netflix or Prime, one of them. But he has a thing about octopus that he actually kept them in tanks in his house for a while. Where you get Dina Deborah? It's just Deborah. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it no more tonight, Lovecraft. I'm through with it. Y'all gonna spell. I'm gonna start doing y'all like McNasty. You're gonna spell the whole damn word out. No abbreviations. No little trick words or any of that stuff. Y'all gonna say the whole thing. I'm gonna put you out the damn chat if you don't type it all out so I know what you're saying. She just doing that shit because she my sister. That's right. Remove their ass from the chat because they just gonna spell the shit out. See, I'm gonna have to start being like McNasty. She got her chat under control. If you don't spell the shit out, if you don't say hi to each other, if you don't say something to her, she gonna put your ass out the chat. And if you don't say something nice to her, she gonna put you out the chat. She just trying to start foolishness tonight. I don't know what's wrong with her. You know what? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So y'all just gonna keep the shit up anyway, huh? NY is any Black Fuego. You know you here tonight. You right there. Always be open to learning something new. I'm gonna put my sister out the chat. That's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my learning something new. How to put family members out of your chat. All right, I think I have rant and raved about. Yeah, you did start at Recessionista with the YT. Yes, you did. All of y'all being messy tonight. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I know it's raining here, and it's been raining here. I don't know if it's the weather. Yeah, I'm a DEBRA Deborah. I wanted to be a DEBORAH Deborah, which is really Deborah, but my mom did not name me Deborah. I wanted to be Deborah and not Deborah. Yeah. Oh, I ain't, child. If I get mad at my sister about her foolishness, I would be mad with her every given day. Because she always got something to say. Yes, I did do you like that. I forgot Recessionista started the bullshit with the YT. But don't think that she ain't on the borderline tonight either. Okay? Normally it'd be where is Sandy and Chris. They normally be the one on the borderline, them and Martina. My dad named me. Oh, your dad named me? So do you pronounce it Deborah or Deborah? I think my mom was going to name me DEBORAH, but my dad couldn't remember it. And back then, the fathers filled out, which I don't know why they did this, but the fathers filled out the names and all that stuff on the paperwork, and he couldn't remember, so I ended up becoming Deborah. And then my sister's name got messed up. All of our names got messed up because the dads had to fill out the paperwork. Oh my gosh. What the hell? If y'all don't put that warrior funky ass up out of my chat, what the hell is you talking about? That is just nasty. You on the P. Diddy side. Take your ass up out my chat. And if it goes along with the picture, that's even worse. That's what I got to say to the warrior. People are so gross. So very, very gross. Well, they probably spelled it wrong. They probably didn't mean for the R to be where it is, but yeah. But I've heard worse names. I was in the military with a girl. I don't know if I told you this. Her mother named her Orange Jella because she liked or craved orange jello when she was pregnant. Can you imagine going around being named Orange Jella? I mean, I have heard some names, so yeah. That ain't the worst that you could be called. But that was funny because, like, my aunt was named, back in the day, they had to throw Ann and May and all that on the end of your name. So her name was Charlie May. But I thought that, Charlie would have been a cute name, but back then you didn't want to have a male name, so she changed her name. But I thought Charlie was a cute name. A chandelier. Ugh. What was that? You know what? What was they thinking? What was tangerine? What is that? Charsty? See, people just be making up stuff and they don't be thinking about these children have to go their whole life with these names. Chandelier and tangerine. Now, I did meet a family that named their daughter Tuesday. I like that. I did like the name Tuesday. You know, and then when people would name their children after cities like Paris or London, then, you know, the Kardashians came along with the, what was the name? Chicago, which is not bad, Chicago. Flame, Flint, and Flash. Now, you know what? They need to stop. Flame, Flint, and Flash. There's some names, like, I didn't really care for Blue Ivy. I still don't really care for Blue Ivy, but they might have their reasons for naming their child Blue Ivy. I guess just calling her Blue. Yeah, but it's not spelt that way. I'm sure people messed up her name for years. Though I love her music. I hate that she quit singing. I have a friend that he swears that Sade is his woman. I'm like, she don't even know you exist. But he been liking her since the 80s. Been in love with her since the 80s. You don't know, I don't want to know what people say. What are they saying Blue Ivy means? What is Blue Ivy supposed to mean? And how would they even know what these people were thinking when they named their child? I mean, because how can you really know what a name means in somebody else's head? Like people, well, I'm not going to say his name. I was going to tell a story about my son's name, but I'm not going to put his name out there. Why do my boobs look so big when I'm on camera? I don't understand that no matter what I put on. Born living under evil Illuminati, very youngest. Oh my gosh. Who sat down and took the time to think of all of that? That is so stupid. Okay. Yeah. Do y'all think that the Illuminati that they talk about exist? Because if you research the Illuminati, there was no people of color. The Illuminati did not have people of color in it. It was one of those elite groups for Caucasian men with money. So I'm trying to figure out how we got the Illuminati where they got Jay-Z and all these other people all up in it. What Illuminati are they talking about? If they do their research on the Illuminati. Actually came up out of like a craftsman's type group. Oh shit, I can't see. I hate when I drink and try to do this. I can't remember half the stuff I want to say. Yeah, I seen where they compared that. Yeah. There you go, Freemasons. I was trying to think of the name, girl. Y'all know that my brain, I must only have about 5 brain cells that work when I get on live because they don't even be hitting each other to try to make it seem like I know what the hell I'm talking about. Freemasons. But if you go all the way back, it was started by the Freemasons in Europe, and it was all Caucasian men. And like there is an elite group of people that meet um, once a year, and this elite group of men are usually high-ranking politicians, people with a lot of money. They're usually old Caucasian men. Every now and then, they try to say that Obama was in it. I don't know. I'm looking shiny on here. He could be. But most of the time, they meet once a year, and these are the cream of the crop, as they say. The creme of la creme. And they did not let people of color in. See, what people need to understand that some of the stuff they be talking about, people of color was never let in because they thought that they were inferior. And there were no people of color that they were dealing with that had the type of money and status and was doing the things that they were doing. So, for them to even talk about the Illuminati, I'm just trying to figure out what Illuminati are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I think that you need to do your research on things to see before you just start taking what somebody say out here on the airwaves in the YouTube streets as the gospel. Because, yeah, the Illuminati that I researched and know about didn't have nothing to do with the Jay Z. And that elite group has always been men of Caucasian persuasion. But they tried to say Obama went. So I don't know because they don't put Obama in a lot of things. They say Obama was at the P. Diddy parties. I ain't never seen a picture of him at the P. Diddy parties. Just like they said Denzel Washington was in the mix. I ain't never seen a picture of him there. I can only go by what I see. I would hate to say that Denzel was at the after parties. Now I know a lot of people went to the daytime parties because I'm sure it was part of who you were, what you did. You had to probably do it to show your face. You know, just like we have to go to stuff. Like I've always hated the yearly picnic cookouts, game day, or whatever the hell corporate America wanted to call it, where everybody got together and got to hang out. I hated that. I took vacation time so I would not have to go to that shit because I feel like I shouldn't be made to have to go hang out with my coworkers if I don't want to. So, but we all know that they have stuff like that in any career field that you're in. So, as a Hollywood, actor and stuff, it may have been part of the thing that you got to go to the P. Diddy white party. I could see that there was a lot of people that went there during the day. They might have left. Like some people said, I went, but I never stayed for the after party. But they tried to say my Denzel was at the after parties. But I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people was trying to put him in at the freak offs. Now you gotta understand, just like in any other, okay, look at it like this. Most of y'all still work. You got the people that come to work, do their job, and go home. Then you got the people that come to work and their whole thing is they're trying to inch up the ladder. So they try to make sure that they are the brown nosers to whoever the hierarchy is so they can move up. P. Diddy was a brown noser. He made sure from the time he came in as an intern that he brown nosed his way up to the point where he was hanging out with billionaires when he wasn't a billionaire. There's always a price to pay at each level where you go, whether you realize it or not. You're going to pay something to go up. And so he was willing to pay the price. Not everybody wants to pay that price. You know, not everybody wanted to pay the price. And this is not something new. This has been going on for years in Hollywood. Hollywood was started by the mob. There's always been a dark underline with the entertainment business. And if you want to go spiritual about it, who was the angel that was over music? Satan. So if you want to be spiritual about it and biblical about it, then you could see how the entertainment business, the music business, and all that has had a dark underline underneath it because you had Satan, the angel of music, underlying all this. There you go. So why would you not think that there's stuff? But this has been going on. I mean, the casting couch, where do you think that came from? It wasn't a fake. Women slept their way to be stardom. I do not even think that it's a lie when they say that people who have become famous that we all know about have not had to do some things to buy their way into that stardom. Because I can tell you what, I don't know what the hell they did to Britney Spears, but I'm going to tell y'all this. If you think I'm lying, go to Instagram and follow Britney Spears. She's not here. She may not be under her conservatory anymore. And I do believe that her mama and daddy and the sister, the whole family used her, including the man she had the children by. I think everybody in her life pretty much has used her. And now she's trying to be her own individual person, but they have messed this girl up so bad. I don't think she will ever be who she could have been. I think that Diddy held the power that he had because other people gave him that power. See, we want to look at it as, how could a black man hold that type of power? Well, he can if the people above him gave him that type of power. The reason why people didn't go against him is because they knew that he had other people behind him. Yeah, and she shaved her head for a reason. You can do anything you want if you have the right power backing you. Do you really think that our president is as smart as he is? No. He got people backing him that's smarter, and he got people with money who got more money than him that's backing him. You see what I'm saying? I think that he was given power in the industry because there was too many things that he did that other people would not have gotten away with. He had the backing of other people. If you look at it, he had this one billionaire, he's from Europe. I cannot think of his name, but he gave him a coming out party on a yacht. What was he coming out from for one of his birthdays? He had people who you would never think that he would have been running in the circles with. That other people who was in the same industry was not running with, hanging out with. This man hung out with everybody. How is it how is it that he was a non-talented rapper who had the ability to recognize talent and get them started, though he stole from all his artists? How is it that he was hanging out with billionaires when he wasn't a billionaire? He had tycoons coming to his parties. He had politicians. He had big time pastors. I mean, everybody that was anybody. Diana Ross was at his damn party. Oprah. All these people coming to his party in one spot. He didn't have that type of clout just being over Bad Boys industry, record company. And this was before he even had his deals with the liquor side. How do you think he got the deals with the liquor companies, who were not even in America? They were European liquor companies. He had some inroads with people that I don't know what he did to get there, but he did something to get there. He didn't have that type of power. There's been other people that's been over record companies and all this stuff like that didn't even have the same clout that he had. Come on. And he was an African American man that had that type of clout. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Even now, I have to wonder, how is it that Epstein didn't make it that long being in that same damn prison or federal jail that he is in? He didn't even make it to going to his trial. But here we are going into the 7th week of, I think it's the 7th week, 6th week or whatever, of the Diddler's trial. It ain't nothing happened to him. Who he know? Who he got power over that he was given power over? Because we do know he taped everything. Matter of fact, his own taping got him in trouble this week. The taping that he did of other people for himself got himself in trouble. That's what they say, recessionista, allegedly. I don't know. All I'm saying is, he did not rise to the ranks of where he was at, hanging out with the people that he was hanging out with, without working his way up. Come on, we all have worked with somebody who might have started out the same place we started out on the first day of work. And then 3 years later, all of a sudden, they in a position that you're trying to figure out how the hell they got that position. Because they weren't the smartest, the brightest, knew the job even better, probably wasn't the best worker. But all of a sudden, they got the big position. You can move up anywhere you want to move up to if you do the right things and get with the right people and show them that you're willing. Wouldn't y'all agree? And look at the people that we got running the country right now. There you go, Lovecraft. I wouldn't say she's immensely talented. I'm not a big fan of her either. She all right. She okay. I think her parents still sold her for $1. And Mama be at everything. Matter of fact, I seen her ex-husband in some pictures of him as something. I was like, but she still carries her ex-husband name. I was just like, ma'am. I'm talking about her successor. You know who her successor is, right? Cowboy Carter. Her mama be at everything. I'm just like, and I thought her second husband was fine as hell, but he's with, I seen him in a picture, some play or something that he was doing. I'm like, what did you do to get rid of him, ma'am? But she just looked like she appealed. I seen her trying to do boots on the ground with Michelle Obama. Oh yeah, she sold him. Yes, she did. I couldn't even imagine doing that. There is no way in hell I would have sent my 12 or 13-year-old child to go live with a grown man for a year. I don't care what they was promising. That's just like I'm always confused about these parents that let their children spend the night with Michael Jackson. Whether he did it or not, who the hell lets a child go spend the night with a grown-ass man? And why would he want them to spend the night? Still explain that to me. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much shit you got in your backyard, animals, playground, Ferris wheels or whatever. I don't care who you are, how much money you make. Why would a grown man want children to spend the night over his house? Hell, I'm 62, be 63 in about a month or so. I don't want no house full of children to spend the night with me. Child cheese. I got grandchildren, and I'm not trying to have them here every weekend. And I love them dearly. Stop. Strange children? And I have to say that it's interesting to me how Justin, he's messed up. He's like Britney. But how is it that Usher fared so well? At least from what we can see. I just seen photos of his son with the older woman that was his manager or whatever. I think she was his manager that he married first, and they had the son together. He just went to his first prom, his junior prom. Yeah. How is it? Did it seem like, oh, gosh, I'm yawning. How Usher is managing to fare well with all this? That's what I'm saying, recessionista. I mean, I curve it back when they come, but I didn't know Bow Wow went to him. Justin needs a whole overhaul. I don't know what in the world is going on with him. Between him coming from such a dysfunctional family, because the mom and daddy both was jacked up, and then him coming to the music industry, yeah. Child, don't even get me started with him. I need to refresh my glass, y'all. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Parker, do you have to follow me? Do you have to follow me, sir? sorry, y'all. Oh, Parker, good now. I went in the kitchen and I'm hungry. I started looking for food, what I can eat. Why is my TV got such a delay? I'm sorry, Erica scares me. Well, Erica is a little different. They say that every man that messed with Erica ain't never been right after her. You believe Katy Perry is a robot? And Taylor Swift? Stop it, recessionista. They robots, huh? I must have missed a whole lot in the chat. Let's see. What y'all say back up in there? Oh, y'all talked about Orlando. Yeah, Orlando is a bit strange if you ever listen to any. But they say he is a very, very smart young man. But yeah, he's a bit strange in his interviews. Oh, girl, they came out and said that Biden was a robot and he wasn't who he. I was like, so you mean to tell me? I think they tried to say he was an AI or a robot or something. I'm like, so they made a robot that was that forgetful and that jacked up? That didn't even make no sense. Yeah, he was at Diddy's trial. I'm just like, my thing is this. Of all the people you want to come and support you at your trial, that you might go to jail for the rest of your life, Kanye West would not have been at the top of the list. I'm just like, he got his own issues. He got people suing him for the same crap that Diddy do. Oh, for y'all that don't know, my sister is a singer. She doesn't sing anymore because of her health issues, but she's intermixed with a lot of the entertainment business, so yeah. Thank you. What is 47? Yeah, but because it was happening to young people, young artists, females and stuff, nobody cares because once they get the power, it's like people get power and they forget about how they were treated when they didn't have power, which is always interesting to me. I should do a study on that. What? You know what? I didn't get that whole story. He just came out and said that he was doing that with his cousin, or did the cousin come out and say something? What made him come out and just say that? So he just came out and just said that one day. He's so weird though. Ever since his mama passed, he ain't been right. Yeah, I know it was a male cousin. I'm just trying to figure out if the male cousin was happy about that. But my thing is, what? Like I said, ever since his mama passed, and I'm wondering if he just wasn't right before his mother passed, and she kept a tight rein on that, and then after she passed, he was just wide open by himself. And I'm just like, is it for attention? Because they swear to him and that crazy woman that he married to are always getting a divorce. But I figure she got to be as weird as him because I'm sorry. You can't have me walking around the whole world with no damn clothes on and all this foolishness. And no shoes sometimes. No, never no bra. Somebody said she bought the booty. I don't know. But I'm just like, no ma'am. No sir. We not doing that. Well, I always got to be butt naked, but you fully clothed. They went to somebody's They said they were in New York for somebody's graduation. She actually had on a whole full outfit. It was a leather outfit, mind you, in June, but she did have on a full set of clothes. Yeah. Like I apparently, from what the Jane Doe said on the stand on Thursday, apparently she was hanging out with him and his wife. I don't know if she was a girlfriend or the wife then, and he flew them from the and they went to Vegas and he had a birthday party for her and they went to a hotel and they was in the after the party and they went to the hotel and they went to a hotel room and one of the sex workers that she had been having sex with because of the diddler was there having sex with some random woman. And apparently this is something that they do with, I guess, people with money. Instead of watching porn on TV like poor people do, they have live corn. Um, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not doing it for fame or fortune. But apparently that's something that they get into now, that you have live people doing corn in front of you. And yeah, apparently the diddler got upset about it because he wanted to know why was she at another one of his friends' freak off parties versus their own. But my thing is, I'm trying to figure out, so far in the trial, nothing has come up about these after parties they supposedly were having after his white parties. Everything that they're talking about is stuff that he's done with whoever the person is that's supposed to be one of his women, because he said, he told them in the beginning that he's into poly relationships, which really ain't even poly. They not even relationships. He's just a hoe. That's what he should have said. I'm just a hoe and I got a whole bunch of women. Because he was messed around with a whole bunch of different women all at the same time. Well, we're not gonna say that in the chat recessionista, because the judge has said that nobody is supposed to be talking about who Jane Doe is. So I don't know if it is or not. But I don't want to get my channel struck or anything about who she may be. Personally, I don't even care who she may be. My whole thing is, now, the Cassie thing, I could get with. She was extremely young. He was much older than her. She had visions of sugar plums dancing in her head. Well, he was just saying that he didn't want anybody, and they are striking YouTube pages for people who came out and tried to say who she was. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was her at first. She has a wonderful body. That she does. But yeah, I like that song too. But I can understand her. But this Jane Doe, you were 30 something years old. You were not a novice to men in the business, because, matter of fact, when you met him, you were hanging out with one of your girlfriends who were dating him. And so you went behind one of your girlfriends. She did get married to somebody else, but you had to have known what he was like, because I'm sure the girlfriend probably shared some of that stuff with you, because you flying around hanging out with her. So, nah, they cannot spell it back to you backwards. No, ma'am. I'm going to give you a hint. $50 rapper. Name $50. Baby mama. That should help you out. Um, and my thing was, he didn't even treat her as bad as he treated Cassie. He wasn't beating her or nothing. Matter of fact, he didn't beat her till after the lawsuit came out and she started the fight. So my thing is, did you want him to fight you so that you can maybe get a lawsuit? But and I don't know if, and I'm saying this, I don't know if she's mentally challenged or emotionally challenged, because people can be that. And she was looking for something in him, because she did say that she wanted a man that could take care of her and her son, though your son's daddy had lots of money. Why not take him back to court for more child support? Even though she was getting almost $5,000 a month from him, she could have got more, I figured. But I'm just not understanding her in why she says that she was in love, but she was like in love with him. The way she was talking, she was in love with him the first 2 months. And she could be. There's something going on with her that I'm thinking it's these young ladies, these young women backgrounds, because they're all looking for love in all the wrong places. And see, she had already, I'm thinking the baby daddy did not treat her that good, because he didn't talk about her that good afterwards. So I'm thinking he didn't treat her that good, but you went and got this body. Like, I was listening to, I watched this guy, Make It Make Sense. Have y'all heard of him? Mims? And he brought up something, and he was saying that, he wasn't taking anything from Jane Doe because he's in the courthouse every day. And he was saying that she's a beautiful woman, she done bought a body that's awesome. And, but the thing is, once they put themselves in that type of body, they only are catered to certain type of men, meaning there's only certain type of men that like these Kim Kardashian type bodies. And so when you put yourself in that realm and you start dating men of a certain caliber, it's hard for you to want to go back to the guy that works as a manager at the Walmart. You see what I'm saying? And so if you notice, if you're a person that watch celebrities and see the pictures and who they hang out with and stuff, you're gonna notice that even the women date within, it's like a ring. Like Shaq's wife, ex-wife, went and married a person that was this. You know what I'm saying? You'll see that one person was married to I can't think of his name, comedian. One comedian may be married to this woman, then they get a divorce and she go marry another comedian, or she may go marry a singer or something. You'll notice the same women being kind of passed around, and that's kind of how these women are. Though they never marry them, they don't marry them nowadays. They just pass them around. It's like, I may be dating this rapper and I have a baby by them, but then I'm over here dating this guy, and so they're always looking for that guy that's gonna wife them up, but they don't, because all of them know what the rest of them are doing, because they're all pretty much in some of the same shit. So I'm not going to wife you up when I know you was doing freak-offs with Joe Blow over here. He is recessionista, but I don't think that he's into us. I don't think Mims is into us, but that's okay. I still like him as a content creator. And so you put yourself in a bracket. How many men that's in Diddy's money bracket is going to want to date you? So you're hoping he's going to wife you up. And all the women have said the same things, that they were jealous of the other women, even though in the beginning, I have to say, he was honest with them. He would tell them, I'm a man that date multiple women. All of them said I was okay with it in the beginning. I would have said straight out, nah, brother. Mm-mm. First of all, after I heard about you whipping folks' butt, because I know by now, by the time she got with him, the rumors were already out that he was whipping Cassie, he was whipping Kim, and he was whipping Chase Mama. I mean, he had whooped up on all the women. So I'm sure in the ring that she hung out with, she already knew that he was beating women, and then her girlfriend could have told him that he was freaky deaky. So you bought into this because you like the money, the lifestyle, the clothes, and all this stuff, the whatever he lavished you with. And so I'm just thinking he wasn't whipping your butt. He actually would you do it, and you said, okay, the first time you thought you were doing it because you wanted to please your man. Okay. But then when he wanted you to start doing it the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 27th time, ma'am, you couldn't say no. And then she tried to say it was because of the house that he started paying for her house. Well, the first year or two that y'all were together, because he didn't start paying on her this $10,000 house to 2023 when they made a love contract. Before that, you was living however. So my thing is, you mean to tell me that you had to have a $10,000 home? You couldn't find nothing cheaper? And pocket, I don't know if he wasn't giving her the cash, they was paying for it, but I'm just saying. He would have to give me more than $10,000 a month, because if all $10,000 was going to the house, and then he didn't even give you money to put furniture into the house until later. And then even when she moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, he only gave her $6,000 to move. I'm like, you sold yourself real cheap, man. And you kept doing this stuff because you kept trying to say, it's love. I loved him. I wanted to do it, but you didn't have to. At any point before, because you said he started this with her 3 to 6 months into the relationship. The rest of them said it was about a year in. You could have said, no, I don't want to. He wasn't paying for no house or nothing like that. You could have took you and your $5,000 from child support, and you was talking about doing OnlyFans, and did your OnlyFans and kept it moving. You didn't tell the truth about why you wanted to stay. And my thing is, you bought into it. You bought into the bullshit. I mean, I know a lot of women who have done the threesome thing. Usually it's with another female, not another guy. Because it was a birthday, an anniversary, or whatever it was to please their man. But usually those things don't turn out well. And I'm sorry, even if you did it the first time, or even if you did it every occasion, every now and then, but not every dang on week and for 3 days, 2 days, 48 hours, whatever. Hell no. And I'm trying to figure out, this is what I don't understand. Y'all help me to understand this. Supposedly he was videotaping the female with the guy. And after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or whatever the case may be, why did he need an IV? Because the way the stories are told, which I don't think they're telling the truth, I don't think Cassie or none of the other females that were with him have told the full truth of what was going on in them hotel rooms, bedrooms, or whatever. Because I'd like to know why he needed an IV if the female was the one doing all the work with the man. Because even the sex workers are now trying to say that he never did anything with them. But I think that's a lie. I think that's why he paid Cassie what he paid her, was because she didn't tell the full truth, which would have been that he was participating in it. I think that's the only reason why he paid her, was because of the fact that she didn't tell that he was participating in it. And Miss Jane Doe, she was on his side up until April of this year. She was sitting in lawyer meetings with him, and even though she knew he didn't love her, he was playing her, because as long as she was in on those private meetings with the lawyer, she couldn't come out in court and say whatever they said behind closed doors. I don't know what made her flip, I don't know what they threatened her with or whatever the case may be. I don't know why she flipped. Because one would have thought that she would have known by April of 2025 that that man did not love her and that she was just a sex slave for him. But my thing is this, ma'am, you ain't told the whole truth. Because why would he need an IV just from jacking off for 3 or 4 days? It wasn't like he was jacking off continuously, but your ass done had sex with 3 or 4 men over this time period. To me, it's just crazy what people would do for money and prestige, to be able to say I walked on the red carpet with this person, knowing that you got to go home and do this bullshit. And I'm looking at young Miami because she was very jealous of her. And he gave now this is what was crazy. I was like, this girl did not, she said she had low self-esteem. She really did. Because for her birthday, he had her have sex with 3 men and gave her some type of necklace and a necklace. No, bracelet. A love bracelet. And cake and balloons and stuff. But she had to have sex with 3 men. Young Miami, he took to Turks and Caicos and gave her one of those, what is it called, a Maybach? One of them cars that everybody's driving now. And she was like pissed because she's like, here I am recuperating from having sex with 3 men, and you done went and took her, because their birthdays are right close to each other, and you done went and took her to Turks and Caicos and gave her a car. But he says that Young Miami was buying him gifts. Young Miami till this day has not said that he's done anything like that to her, and he may not have. He may not have, because he does have a type. He does seem to like women that looks more Asian type, but they have they're biracial, like Asian and African American. And I noticed that the women that he took out in public mostly were African American women, other than Cassie, and that's only because Kim passed away. Because up until Kim passed away, he still always took her on stuff. And Cassie didn't get to go. Once Kim passed, then he started taking Cassie. Because every holiday and stuff, and that was interesting to me. He did not spend the holidays with these women. He always spent the holiday with his kids. And when Kim was alive, he spent the holidays with her and the children. And so that was another thing that they were upset about, which I can understand. I'm like, you was never the woman. And that's what they didn't understand till years later. They did not realize that they were not really his girlfriend. They were just there for his sexual fantasies. But Carisha swears that he was paying her $200,000 to $250,000 a year. A month. I'm sorry. And this girl says she only got 10. Now they say that he is notoriously cheap. But like I said, he didn't treat the African American women the same as the other girls. Now I heard that he was beating up Kim and stuff, but Kim got him when she cut him up. He stopped doing that. So I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I think it has a lot to do with his mama. And I do have to I gotta give her props. Ma'am looks good to be 80-something years old. What is she? Is she the same age as my mom? I want to say, is she 82, 83? Money makes you still look good even when you're old. I was looking at a picture of the twins the other day because they graduated. They're 18 now. And I know young people dress very sexual nowadays, but I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if them poor children got messed up after their mama passed or they was messed up before she passed. I don't know. Money does not always make for the best for some people. Well, peoples, it is 10:54. I've been on here almost 4 hours. The chats is getting slow, so I'm assuming that y'all is either getting sleepy or some of y'all done went to bed. And that's probably true. That's probably true. Even though they're twins, they both have their own individual personalities. And they're spoiled rotten. I mean, come on. But I'm just wondering what will happen to them if he go, because the feds is going to take everything that they can possibly take. So hopefully they have some gifts and talents that they can use. The twins can probably model like their mama because they're tall and slim. But yeah, then that one that looks just like him, the son, that boy can't rap. He cannot rap to save his life. I was like, oh my God. I listened to one of his rap songs the other day and I was like, baby, I could rap better than you. Christian, is that the one that looks just like him? I think so. He does have a case against him. There was a yacht, they call them yacht girls, the ones who work the yachts for parties and stuff. A young girl said that he raped her while she was on the yacht. And she went and told the people that hired her, the company that hired her for being a yacht girl, and the guy tried to cover it up and not do anything about it. And so, yeah, she put him up for charges. No, it's not. That's his own individual case. It's not connected to his dad. Even though they brought the dad in because they said that he knew about it, he got told about it, and nothing was done. And I would have sued Christian and the company because she told the boss and he didn't do anything about it. Matter of fact, he fired her. So I guess you can get raped and just mistreated on these parties and stuff for the celebrities, but you better not say anything about it or you get fired. So yeah, he has his own case. So he might be sharing some jail time with his daddy. You know, these people with money, they figure, ooh, they can buy themselves out of anything. All right, y'all. I'm yawning and I'm hungry. And I don't think I can order Uber Eats at this time. I don't know. Is Black Fuego still in the chat? How late does my nephew order from Uber Eats and stuff? It ain't been no 2 to 3 months in Lovecraft. It's been about a week or two. I wasn't feeling good. I know there's places open, but I'm not sure if we have people that will still deliver this late. I ain't in a big city, so yeah. But I'm going to check and see. I sure am. And I would not try to make it. Yeah, find out if he still delivered this late. I mean, if he still ordered this late. Yeah. Y'all got all quiet on me. That's what made me sleepy. So yes, Lovecraft, I will try not to make it 2 or 3 months, even though it went 2 or 3 months, but sometimes you're not here and everybody else is. So, yeah. But I'm going to try, me and Black Fuego are going to test out the StreamYard, because I think you guys will really love it when the two of us are interacting with you guys on StreamYard. And besides, I want to be able to see if any of you guys want to come up and say something. So yeah. So for everybody that was in the chat tonight and on this live, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I always love the dialogue back and forth. He didn't have no turnout for his parade. I was wondering how many people came out, so you know I'm gonna have to play catch up on that. Thank you, Martina. And so, yeah, if we get it together, we might do a little impromptu thing tomorrow, right, Black Fuego? Yeah, she said yes, even though I didn't hear her say yes. We might try it tomorrow, because I really want to kind of get that down packed so that I want to have you guys interact with me a little bit more. So, Down with the king. Most definitely. So, you guys keep abreast of what's going on. Be careful out there in them streets and them highways, because you never know. Well, thank you, Lovecraft. And we miss you when you're not here. Would you guys be careful out there? You know, watch your back. You never know. Things are getting crazy out here. Not to scare you or anything. All right, me and Parker love you. Thank you so much for dropping in. And I'm going to go find me something to eat because big girl here is hungry. All right? Love you guys. Mwah.